Wow. It's just Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars. Wow. Dragon Quest 11. Final Fantasy 14 Monster Hunter crossover?
Hey, hit that light for me, Marty. That one. Oh, that one. Slide this way for me.
Slide the
Ah,
way.
that's good.
Man Eater is an open world RPG where you're a shark. He's trying to kill people. What? Alright. Sure.
Why not, man? You know what I'm saying? Come up with a new idea.
I mean, that's a pretty funny idea. I'm about to watch this trailer real quick.
What about that nigga Echo? You remember playing that shit?
Oh yeah, I played all three of the Echo games. I thought those games were fun.
Now you got a shark.
Yeah. Now you're trying to eat people. It's called Man Eater. It's called Man Eater. So. Trying to kill folks. I'm sick of this ad though. I just want to see the trailer. Why?
Yo, what's going on with y'all out there in the goddamn chat?
Man, they're showing like no gameplay of the shark game. The shark game, y'all. Man Eater. Seems like
The best.
the best. It's an open world RPG where you're a shark. You try to eat people. I'm definitely trying to play that game.
That sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to play that game.
If you play Echo, you can definitely play this shit.
I mean, so far it's not showing any. Like it's showing the scenery and stuff. So like the game looks good, graphics wise. They're not showing
What'd
any.
you get?
Oh my god!
Uh-oh, Marty found something to get excited about over there.
Yo, there's a boat that capsized, and so the shark player jumped on the boat and got somebody and went back out like that. Oh my god! I'm playing this game. Man Eater, Man Eater.
Oh shit.
That looks incredible.
The Gucci Gang said, what's up, Marty?
Yo, what's up, Gucci Gang? Play Man Eater. Play Man Eater, Gucci. That's what's gonna be fire. When's it come out? To be announced. Oh no. Oh no. Last of Us Part 2, yeah. Oh yeah, what's this Death Stranding game?
Oh, it's a weird. The graphics look nice, but it's weird. They had what's the name from Walking Dead in that.
Norman Reedus, yeah.
But it got babies and like weird ghost creatures. This shit's weird as fuck.
Oh.
Like you're carrying around a baby and you use it. You know how to power this life that allows you to see these invisible people. It's weird.
Oh,
like, if we just touch anything and fast forward through time.
Oh. Oh. Does the baby see the stuff, or like is that how you see the?
Yeah, it's well you'll see it in the video, but like you're carrying around a baby at a time and like you activate the baby or whatnot. There's like a little flashlight that comes on and back the pack. It allows you to like see these people walking around or floating around.
Oh, okay.
It's just weird.
Bravery Network Online, a Pokemon style battle. That's weird. Where is this video at? Yeah, dude walking into a cave. Man, Norman Reedus walking into a cave. What kind of suit is he got on? Well, so far as graphics go, you're right, this game looks sick.
What game is it?
What is it? Death Stranding? So is he on another planet? He's got like a hover thing with him. Futuristic looking thing.
Yeah, I forgot what other topic was we were talking about. So I think we'll come up with it.
Which ones did you get on?
We got D3, Chick one. Oh, okay, I know what the fourth one is.
Okay. Is he carrying a body? He's got like a body on his back there.
Yeah, it's good.
See, man, this is the one thing I hate about watching these random trailers. I have like 1,000 questions after I watch this thing. So I was like, what's the story about? Why is he on another planet? Why is he dragging a body? Why does he have like 2 hoverboards near him?
About 3 minutes.
Oh, he just ripped his toenail off? Oh my god. Dude. Why?
Alright, y'all. Welcome to the show. We about to undergo this thing.
What's up? Oh, it's an invisible monster, I guess. Something invisible. I don't know, Mike. This shit looks weird.
What's that?
Why this shit looks weird?
This shit is weird, but it looks like it's interesting weird.
It looks interesting.
I definitely want to play it.
Or Death Stranding.
What game are y'all talking about?
Death Stranding?
Death Stranding is the name of it.
Never heard of it.
Well, of
You didn't
course.
watch all of that
it's-
from it. Which was, who was the second, third video show?
Yeah.
What's going on with y'all, man? Listen,
I'm like super.
we got a lot of
intrigued
shit.
by this.
No, it actually looks funny too.
Got a lot of shit popping
Weird
off.
way.
Yeah, I just want to know what it is. It's been like just him walking around a bunch of places, and then like something invisible is stalking him now. But
I would say play it up here, or is that where you can play those videos in the chat?
Yeah, I can play in the chat. Yo, man, we got a lot going on, man. First, foremost, you know, I know we got E3 that's popping off. Been popping off all week. We got some basketball we're gonna talk about today. You know what I'm saying? Marty loves that basketball. You know what I'm saying? He get heated about that shit. He might like basketball.
I mean, I do love basketball.
He might like talking more about sports than he do politics. I ain't exactly sure which one yet. He get real passionate. And then let's see, we're gonna talk about your box. Can you escape your box? And that was one of the questions that I talked about earlier on Twitter. If y'all follow me, there was definitely, or if you follow Let's Talk Tuesday, there was the discussion being had today about people being stuck in their ideological box, not being able to escape it. We also had some interesting conversation with this. I had an interesting conversation with this chick. I attempted to have an interesting conversation with a chick.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, and that shit did not. It didn't flow like I thought it was gonna flow. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we're gonna talk about that subject matter. But very first and foremost, man, we got some sad news brought to us by way of Twitter.
Yeah.
There has been a fatal car accident. Colorado Tekken player by the name of Dr. Strangelove passed away this weekend. Now, when I heard the news, I was under the impression it was Dr. Strangelove that comes in the chat all the time. I was heartbroken, man. I was in there trying to send flowers and shit. I was trying to get the number to the family. I'm still trying to reach out because this is a Tekken player, man. You know, somebody's going through a hard time. Got 3 other Tekken players that were in the car with them. They all in critical condition in the hospital.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're having like a charity event, tournament, you know, so they can help out the families and shit.
You have any idea what happened with the accident? Like,
I'm not exactly sure how it happened.
Okay.
Actually, I can pull up on Twitter. If I can pull it up, they might have. I can read to you what happened. It really was.
I didn't know if it was like a drunk driver or whatever. There's a Smash player I know that got killed a few years back. A drunk driver. He was on his way home from a tournament. I just saw him at a tournament, and then some drunk driver was driving the wrong way on the road, smashed right into him.
Yeah, man. You don't want to hear that none of this shit happens to nobody.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely was. I was feeling real bad, man. My boy Dr. Strangelove. Great guy. I thought we weren't gonna hear nothing else from him, man. You know what I'm
thought
saying?
we lost somebody from the realm of the real.
We thought the realm of the real was gonna be a little less chill, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, our Tekken realm lost one player, and you know, several other players definitely biting a bullet right now, hanging on to life. I believe information for it is here. Wish I could pull this up in the chat. I don't know how to do that shit. Actually, I think I can pull it up. What's going on, Juice? What's happening with you, homie? This is something that I know they were saying they were gonna have, so let's see. Just copy this to the clipboard. I'm gonna post it into the chat so y'all can go check it out. Maybe you can read up on some of the story. Like I said, it was definitely not the best shit you ever want to hear in your life. But hopefully I just sent the right thing. I ain't exactly sure. Who knows what the fuck I just sent y'all. Let me make sure that's the right shit. Okay, this is something that's talking about the other guy, one of the guys, but you can navigate your way through there from that page. If you also want to check it out, you can check out Colorado Tekken, so you can get the full story on it. But essentially what happened, like I said, they were coming back from a tournament event at Brews and Battle. Hopefully there wasn't any alcohol involved, but we know sometimes stuff like that goes down. And it just says he ended up getting in a fatal accident. Not a whole lot of details on the matter. Definitely a sad thing to hear, though. You know.
Oh, definitely.
Whether it's somebody you know or you don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a young guy. It always hurt me to hear that some young person, you know, ain't even get to live their life out. You know. It always hurts me when I know I've lived longer than somebody else ever will get the chance to. I remember back that happened with my boy Rich. You know, there's a lot of things he didn't even get to do with his life. You know, and you know, it kind of just, it touched me all the time when I hear something's happening to somebody in the community, because I know a lot of people in the community tend to have the propensity to be, you know, make something of themselves. You know, there's a lot of talents out there, not just gaming talents, but they also got talents in other fields. And I mean, when you're young like that, you don't get to really explore it. And I don't know exactly how old he was, but you know, sorry to hear he lost his life. We can only hope for the other players that were with him to, you know, regain all of their functionality and, you know, get back to a steadily healthy pace. What's going on with your sis Mo? What's happening, homie? You know, don't want to focus on that too much. I don't want to bring us all the way down. You know what I mean? But we did have to focus on that a little bit because it needs to be talked about, man. You can't just have tragedy like that striking in our community. We just overlook it. I mean, it happened over the weekend. I actually saw the tweet and just didn't know. I just thought it was a tournament, so I just went past it. At the end of the day, I just happened to be reading my tournaments and stuff, and I came up on it. I was like, whoa. Dr. Strangelove passed away? I was like, whoa, come on, man. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. My eyes got big. You know what I'm saying? I had to hurry up and text people, man. I was typing folks, but we found out through the grapevine, we found out it wasn't our Dr. Strangelove that comes through the chat, but nonetheless, it was one of our Tekken players. So we're going to send out much love to him, you know what I'm saying, and his family. If you check it out, once again, I'm gonna try to pull it up. I'll pull up another link to the actual tournament, and maybe you can go to this person's Twitter page. You can read about what actually happened. Like I said, it was definitely not something you just want to hear when you look on your phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look on my phone and hear horrible ass news. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's going on with your soul? Let's see if I can pop that in there. Okay. Alright, yeah, y'all can check it out right there if you check out the Colorado Tekken's page. Yeah, Strangelove, man. We thought we had lost you, player, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Mike was about to shed a tear and shit, man. My heart was heavy. Stomach was goddamn rotating in my goddamn innards, you know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, my nigga Strangelove is up out of here, man. I ain't even get to show that nigga the secret to doing it.
We thought we lost you for real, man.
You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you, man, listen, man, y'all gotta reach out to people y'all care about in these streets, man. The realm of the real is real, you know what I'm saying? This shit could get real very fast, you know what I'm saying? So we're glad to have you around, man. We sorry that somebody had to lose their Strangelove, you know what I'm saying? We're just happy to have, you know, the person that we associate with. We're happy to know that you're around, you know. Someday we all gonna go. We're just happy that yours ain't happened that fast, brother. Yeah, man. Everybody feels bad for
Oh, yeah.
anybody, that.
I mean, it's hard to lose a loved one. Like I definitely know about that. So it's difficult.
Most definitely. And like I said, y'all check out that article, man. If y'all can donate to the cause, I definitely gonna try to donate myself to try to help the GoFundMe out there. You never know what people's situation is, I don't plan on going out and getting no damn car wreck. You know what I'm saying? If I get in a car wreck, they put me in the hospital. Union might not pay that shit. You know what I'm saying? I might have a goddamn collection plate on the stream. Can't even, I'm gonna be, the sound gonna be echoing twice and 3 times. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be horrible sound quality. Camera gonna be trash. And I'm gonna have a goddamn bar up there saying, dog, I can't feel my toes. I need a nigga to give me some goddamn cash. You know what I'm saying? I expect that, y'all keep a nigga in the realm of the live. You know what I'm saying? Keep me in the realm of the live.
Yep.
Funded by the realm of the real. You know what I mean?
Living, brother.
But with that being the case, let's talk about some real shit that's been popping up, man.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that host, Kingsley. Let's talk about it, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. E3. E3. It's been going down all week, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure all of y'all were into some E3 news somewhat. I know last night we watched a little E3 here on the channel. We had some pretty good games. I know some stuff I saw that I was looking forward to, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to maybe, shit. I don't know, maybe that Spider-Man looked pretty fire.
Spider-Man does look really
Spider-Man
good.
looks pretty fire.
Looks really good.
My favorite news that I heard was the announcement of that remake of Resident Evil.
Oh yeah. Resident Evil 2? Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one. I love that game.
Yeah, listen, that Resident Evil 2 is probably one of my favorite PS1 games ever. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, this is the realest shit you ever saw in your life. Cleveland Browns holding it down. Holding it all the way down.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff on this list. Got announced and stuff that I'm pretty excited about. Like a lot of games.
What you got on your list? My personal favorite, Kingdom Hearts, is coming out.
I didn't know you like Kingdom Hearts.
I don't like that shit, okay?
Okay.
But it is coming out. You know what I'm saying? It is coming out. I know that's big news to somebody out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, it used to be big news to me until 1, they waited so long to bring out the 3rd one, and then 2, with the other games they had in between, the story got really convoluted and stupid. I just didn't really like it much anymore.
yeah, see, I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I was just talking to a group of guys last night, and they're super excited. Like, they love Kingdom Hearts. They know every detail about the story. Like, they're ready to go. They're ready to go.
They can have that shit. Okay. I might play that shit on the stream just to see what that shit's about.
Yeah, I stopped the show because you're hood.
Hey man, listen, he can't hate on this goddamn Cleveland Browns. I told him I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, man. Don't fake the funk.
Oh,
that's right, nigga.
Fuck
Cleveland
no.
Browns, my nigga.
Take that shit off.
Bruh, this is the real deal right here. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
I'm
you
all
got
the way
Brown.
down for the Brown, bruh.
Taking the Browns to Super Bowl for real.
Yeah, listen, brother. They gotta make it some way. Circling around the toilet or circling around the goddamn stadium. One way or the other, niggas is going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Things over with all them.
The toilet bowl.
Hey man, listen. They have a championship. Can't say that about the Falcons.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
Can't say that
A lot
about
of
the
teams you
Falcons.
can't say that about.
Yeah, a lot of teams actually.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy the Browns.
Well, but they actually don't look that bad this season. Like,
They always don't look that bad.
that's true. That's true. Granted, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, Quan. That's
Yeah,
fair.
my team is.
That's
Listen,
fair.
bro, we had a
But
parade last year.
hopefully they perform a little bit better than they've been performing.
How many teams had a parade last year? You know what I'm saying? We
For
had
the
a
right
goddamn
reason.
parade.
For the right reason.
We set a goal. We accomplished
Yeah,
the
you
goal.
talk-
That's not a goal, my son.
That is
That's
definitely
not-
a goal,
that's
brother.
Not a goal.
That definitely was a parade/protest because them people were upset.
Oh, definitely.
They were yelling at the upper management. It's like, y'all need to do something with this team.
Yeah,
You gotta give us a
How
product
do you
that's
get
worth watching.
rewarded for sitting on your ass not doing shit instead of getting thrashed?
Oh,
You're not supposed to be rewarded for it.
Hey man, listen, bro. It's a art. They almost fucking
An
won.
art to get an
They almost accidentally won. They had to give the game over.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost fucked up the unbeaten record. or
Now-
beaten record. That's the,
You know
so
what?
far as so far as E3 goes, or whatever, there's a lot of stuff to be excited about. I think like tons of games to be excited about. I mean, personally, on the fighting game front, they announced DOA 6. I am.
minus the titties.
So
and they
hyped.
taking the titties out.
They're kind of taking them out, and I'm kind of upset about that.
Why you gonna
But
take the titties out, man?
like, hold on, DOA is still a really fun game.
That's true.
I just also want the fan service along with it because I love fan service.
You know, it's
And-
like putting King on the game, taking the throws out of the game. Come on, man.
See, that's how I feel about it. Like, I feel that the fan service kind of set.
It's the only reason I know what that game
They
is.
kind of set the game apart. Yeah. Now that's a double-edged sword because that's the reason why a lot of people know why.
Hey man, listen.
You know, a lot of people know why that game exists and know what that game is, and
That's
they won't
the
play
other-
it. They won't play it because of that. But
I mean,
it's a really fun game if you look past that. Like,
if they take fatalities out of Mortal Kombat, nobody's gonna play
Exactly.
that shit either.
exactly. See,
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, they fucking up. Bring
Oh,
back the
you
breast.
understand, Mark. Bring them back.
Bring back the breast. Campaign going. Hashtag BBB. You know what I'm saying? Bring back breast. All I want to see. Y'all hashtag that up. Make sure y'all put up, send that over to goddamn Konami. Is that who makes goddamn, no, Team Ninja, my
Team
bad.
Ninja.
Send it over to Team Ninja. Tell them niggas, BBB, bring back breast. You know what I'm saying? Bring back the boobies.
Now, for what they're saying is like they're gonna make the outfits like they're keeping the characters' figures the same, but they're making everything less bouncy, and they're not making the clothes really
Trash. Trash. I'm just gonna assume that they're gonna have customs, and there's the regular clothes are not gonna be rebuilt. That's what
possible.
I'm gonna roll with.
I mean, it's DOA, so they'll probably have like quite a few DLC packages.
These
full of
motherfuckers
costumes,
made
so.
a volleyball game
Yeah,
And bikinis.
in bikinis.
and that
and-
shit was fun.
That shit was
It was
great.
a fun game.
That shit was great.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what's up. They know what's making the bread.
Exactly.
Why would you kill the bread maker? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna starve
Because
now.
you have a lot of people
Fuck
that
them.
they have a lot of people that claim that they didn't take the game seriously
Because
because of
it
that.
was too many titties.
Yeah.
Focus.
But the way I feel about it, people who are bothered by that probably weren't going to play the game anyway. So it's like, okay, why are you really taking this out? Because these people probably weren't going to play the game anyway. They
We're
probably
not.
don't like the game for various reasons.
Are not playing.
And so I mean, this is one of them.
Dog, I mean, come on, it's like taking guns out of Call of Duty. Talking about it's a melee fest now. We don't want to see people getting shot. Fuck that. Then don't play the game. How about that? Them titties is the only reason I know DOA is even around. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I know that game is around.
Yeah. That's the main reason. That's the main reason Solo Polo is like they want to try to get into the esports thing, so they want to make the game
Erotic sports. They was in the esports.
That's the wrong E.
They was in the
That's wrong
esports
E.
already.
Wrong E.
You actually caught me off guard on that one. I didn't even think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty funny.
They was
But-
rolling.
Yeah, but when they had a certain tournament stream, they actually told people not to use certain costumes because they're trying to get on the esports thing. Because I mean, there's some of the costumes where they put a set of all the girls in bathrobes or bath towels or whatever, and so they're like, oh, you can't use this costume on stream and all that stuff.
Man, you can use all that shit. That shit is a regular goddamn costume.
Oh man.
King wrestling draws. Okay.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And they up there talking about goddamn titties being out.
No.
Chicks walk around with their titties out in real life.
All the time.
All the time.
On a daily basis.
Shout out to the cleavage Browns. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Hell, you can find some of that shit on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right now.
There you go, Tigo, baby.
I don't understand it. Are they for the feminist agenda? Because the feminist agenda says, let them titties fly.
You know, strangely enough about the DOA community, for most of them that I know and talk to, you find the guys complaining more about
niggas
the fan
is
service than the
tripping.
women. Like, I'm dead serious. Most of the women that I know that play,
They love the customization.
yeah, they love to dress the girls up in like all those outfits. And so like, it's usually the guys that are complaining about it. And they're like, oh man,
them niggas need to go shoot up school or something.
Stuff. Like, we can't be taken seriously with that stuff. It's like,
they need to go shoot up a school, okay? Them motherfuckers.
Whoa.
Those niggas need to get the fuck up out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas are tripping.
Okay.
Too much of a problem with that in this country to be making that kind of joke about it.
Listen, man, fuck that shit. These niggas take away titties, man. I got a problem. How about that shit? Take away titties? You can't take away titties, man. Them niggas need to be buried in them shits.
Back to the game.
Golly.
Rest of the games that you
Okay, so yeah, E3 games. Was there anything else you were excited about?
I'm not excited about this shit, Marty. I'm upset.
Okay.
I'm like Drake. I'm upset.
I'm upset about
You know
this,
what I'm
but were there any other
Hopefully
games
Pusha
at
T.
E3 you were excited about?
Hopefully, Pusha T don't make no goddamn diss track about me. But you know, I'm trying to think other good games. You told me about some game like Jaws. That sounds like it might be fun.
Man Eater.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it might be fun.
This game looks hype. I just saw a trailer for it. It looks gross. It was gross. It's like an open world. It's like a open world RPG or whatever. But you're a shark, and so you go around all these different places. There's people like celebrating on boats and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we're happy and we're sailing or whatever." And once that ship goes down, you get to eat people, and it looks sick. I'm hyped about this game.
You need to find that video.
Let me see if I can find it. I might pull it up. Might pull it up for us to see, because I ain't never heard nothing about that shit.
Because like, yo, I saw the trailer, and like, there's this ship, this cruise ship, and it was about to capsize, and so it was like sinking down under, and so people are like slipping down near the water. Shark jumps out, gets somebody, and drags them back in the water. I was like, sick.
Alright,
I'm playing this game.
Let me see if I can find this thing, man. It's called what now?
Man Eater?
Yeah.
Man Eater, the game.
Man Eater.
Shit. I can't believe.
Yep.
They'll
like
let
the
a-
Jaws game. So like, you get to just eat people so level. It's gonna be sick. I can't wait to play this game. It's coming out on PC only, I think.
That's why it's
PC only is what it
I
says.
don't watch all the PC.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait to play it. People just like, oh help! Oh help! The boat's capsized. They're trying to hold on. Oh! Snatch them, put them in the water, tear them up. Somebody else hanging down there, get them too. Get them up out of there, one by one.
Hold on, man. We're gonna pull this thing up right quick. Let's see what we got.
Cyberpunk, I heard was good. I heard that from quite a few people. I have not seen it. I haven't seen the trailer, so I mean I don't really know exactly what it is. But quite a few people.
Where the sun is bright and the beaches are wide, a place filled with southern charm, where the water is as warm as the well. So come feel the winter
I'm not hyped about it.
Enjoy the local cuisine. Your dream vacation is waiting for you here.
Like I said, I'm not a big.
Oh, shit! Oh, we can tear it up.
You watch it?
You can jump off the goddamn edge and jump.
Go to maneatergame.com
Oh, this
now.
is some goddamn Sharknado shit right here.
Operators are
Oh, sure, that's Sharknado. This is going sky high.
And the thing is, like, since it's gonna be like an open world RPG or whatever, like, you know you can just go kill people in like crazy places and stuff like that. That's gonna be fun.
Okay, niggas is definitely tripping with that shit.
Oh, Dr. Strangelove is alive? Probably?
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove is in here.
No. Someone the one that got into the car accident is alive. He said, you know, may want to verify, but
No.
But someone did pass in the car accident.
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove is a different Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, man. Dr. Strangelove came in here earlier. He said he's been working on some tests and stuff. It might still be in here. That Dr. Strangelove was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, DMC5. I heard some people talking about that Devil May Cry like they wasn't fucking with that shit. I don't really know.
So far, the only complaint I heard was they changed Dante's look, like how he looks, or whatever. I think they changed that again. I think that kind of upset people, but that's really all I know about it.
As long as it's not Marvel Infinite.
Ooh.
As long as it's not that, we good.
Marvel
like he was
Infinite Dante,
tweaking.
man? Y'all not feeling that shit?
He looked bad.
It look real bad.
He looked
that
real
nigga
bad.
look?
I'm
man.
struggling. Hey man, I need that work. Somebody give me out the
Yeah.
game. I need that work.
He's like, dang.
Oh, it was Nero.
Yeah, it fell off.
That's what it was. It's Nero, it's not Dante.
Hmm.
Oh, so people is not feeling that nigga. I feel like Nero was a character that people didn't fuck with in the first place.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not exactly sure about that because I only played one Devil May Cry. I think it was 3 maybe or 2.
I played the first 2. And that was it.
Yeah. Like I played 1, a little bit of 2, and then I played a little bit of 3, and then I never played 4, so I don't really know. But not really my thing.
Yeah,
Like I said, but you know,
niggas trying to get a high score.
people seem excited about it, so that's cool.
I'm really feeling that damn Resident Evil. I'm gonna be playing the fuck out of that
Oh, yeah.
shit. Listen, when that shit come out, y'all think I'll be playing Tekken? Nigga, I'm gonna be on that Resident Evil trying to get all the
They'll be
secrets,
streaming that, right?
trying to get Akuma to come out, you know what I'm saying? Even though that shit was never actually in the game. Nigga, you don't know how long I played fucking Resident Evil 2 Director's Cut.
Oh, that's
Try-
so
really
funny to me.
all I fucking played.
Trying to get that goddamn Akuma to come out. Them niggas had thoroughly pulled the wool over my eyes. They got my ass. I was trying to rage and demon some zombies.
Got you. It's,
I heard he would shoot fireballs down the hallway. It was unlimited. I was really an idiot to believe that shit was real.
as far as Resident Evil 2 goes, one of the coolest things of that was like when you beat both Claire and Leon's things, and then you got to go through the second thing with Leon.
Jack Black.
You find the chain gun.
Yeah,
That's great.
most definitely.
You get it just like those giant zombies that walk towards you. It's just like
Listen,
blow them
man.
down completely. Oh man,
Leon probably my favorite Resident Evil character.
the boy Leon Kennedy.
Chris probably my second favorite. But
Like
Leon.
Chris got crazy in the new ones. 'Cause it's like he was a normal dude, and then like 5 came out. He's like punching through rocks and stuff. I was like, whoa, this character got insane.
I don't even know what happened. Look, Resident Evil 4 is probably, to me, it's as fun as Resident Evil 2. But Resident Evil 2, I think, was a better Resident Evil game. Like, it actually had you on the edge of your seat. You know, I didn't feel like I was on the edge of my seat during 4. I just felt like the game was very good.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing I like about like the first 3 Resident Evils, like Code Veronica and stuff. Also, was like it was more of a survival horror game. So it's like you didn't want to shoot every zombie because you're like, well, I've only got X amount of bullets left.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna find more bullets. So let me try to hide and get around the zombie or something. And so and what's important in survival games and like something like a dungeon crawling game and stuff like that, it's important to make the player feel a feeling of weakness and fatigue, because then like it feels like there's more on the line. Like it sends you and immerses you in the world, and you feel like you're actually experiencing that stuff. You're like, oh crap, I've only got like 10 bullets left. I don't know where I'm gonna find more bullets, whatever, because they had the bullets all spread out everywhere. Like it wasn't just like kill zombies, they just drop ammo and stuff like it was like Resident Evil 6 and stuff like that, like 5 and stuff like that.
Like, what was the Resident Evil where they had the niggas and you was killing the niggas?
5.
That's 5?
Yeah.
I need to play that shit. I need to
Why?
play that shit. I just feel like that shit probably was a fun game, dog. It probably was funny as hell. It probably was funny as hell. Remind me of goddamn the end of damn Civil War. I mean the end of goddamn Infinity War.
I mean, I'm like ready to kill all the black
folks, getting the fuck up out of there, dog.
Man.
Oh, 7 on VR, fuck your mind up.
Oh yeah. I was talking to my friend Wes about that. He said 7 is pretty crazy. Yeah. Like
he got down epilepsy.
Yeah.
Shit.
But like he's got the PSVR, and he's saying it's pretty good. It's like wow, like it's pretty scary.
I might have to get me a PSVR and play
with the
shit.
VR.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get one, but I just felt like, man, I'm not gonna spend all that money for that bullshit to pop off. You know what I'm saying? Somebody knock my shit over, and then I'd be salty as hell.
Oh well, I mean, if you bought one here, you'd have to keep it like locked up somewhere, except for when you use it.
Somebody would have stepped on that motherfucker.
Yeah, because you can't keep anything fully intact here. So
okay, look, you bring it to Gwinnett Brawl, I will be playing the fuck out that shit. You know what I'm saying? I might not even play in the tournament. Might be playing goddamn Resident Evil. Said wait for the next gen. I'm gonna get a damn what they call it? Oculus.
Oculus.
You know that shit is not about to run on my computer. Damn, I can't even stream on my fucking computer. That shit be goddamn fucking up. Surprised the shit working right now.
Oh man.
Don't speak of that.
All right.
Shit, man.
Damn, we're going smoothly now. Like, don't bring that up.
But E3 definitely was it was pretty good. It's
Man,
pretty
there's so many games that I'm excited about. Like
I seen that one bullshit ass game. That shit's like a fake ass Little Big Planet. It'll probably end up being fun because Little Big Planet actually was kind of fun. But don't tell nobody I said that shit.
Why?
You know, because that's not my type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But shit was actually kind of
this
fun.
man has an image to uphold.
I do, man. I play Tekken, nigga.
Oh man,
Nigga, we can't customize a whole lot on Tekken. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me no game with all them customs. They only make me jealous, brother. You know what I'm saying? I can make stages and put stickers and shit on that motherfucker. I can't even take King's mask off. Can't even get a nigga the long hair he had in Tekken 4. You know what I'm saying? Shit make me salty. But I don't know. The game like it might be alright. They were saying you could have any kind of game you want to make. No, that's some bullshit. Nigga cannot make a fighting game on that engine. But you know what I'm saying? It's cool.
I don't know. Well, there's a lot that I'm excited about. Like the new Shining Resonance. They're having like the Shenmue 1 and 2 pack. A new Dragon Quest 11 is coming. Like, oh man, there's so many games.
What's your thought on that Ronin, that samurai game? Did you get to see that?
Oh,
Ghost of Tsushima?
yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it looked pretty cool, except combat seemed a little sluggish. And I think that might just be, simply because it's a demo, and I think it'll probably get polished, before the game is released.
Okay.
But I mean, besides that, it looked really good. Like I thought it looked pretty sharp.
I think it's actually supposed to play like that, only because it's a samurai game. You ever played Tenchu or yeah? I think that's pretty much what it is.
I heard it was kind of like Bushido Blade, like any strike can kill somebody. So you got to play it like super careful. If that's what I heard Buddy say correctly. Another thing, I think it looked to me like it had that Spider-Man / Arkham Knight type of fighting system, which
it's sort of like that, but it's a little more sluggish. Like I said, like it looks not as fluid as the combat in those games, which I think is
to his detriment. Possibly.
Yeah, like it's slightly a problem, but I mean, it's possible that it was made like that intentionally, like you said, Juan, because it's supposed to be like a more realistic style of combat rather than fighting with the superhero. So it might be made to be more rigid, so it feels more like you're a person and you're mortal, rather than you're just like flying all over the place, beating up like 20 people at a time. So yeah, I mean,
what's with that in video games? I talked about that last night. Why don't they ever program a game to just jump your ass? You know what I'm saying? Last game I played that jumped you was a game called Urban Reign.
Oh yeah, okay.
Them niggas will jump the fuck out you. You'd be fighting all kinds of ways. But you know, I don't know, I guess that's just not the way they make games right now.
Dynasty Warriors.
The niggas jump you on Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're like a super powerful
Yeah, you
person.
got like
so,
No.
fucking sword that can reach like 8 people long.
yeah, so you just like mow down a bunch of people at a time. So, like, you're talking about more like a final fight thing where you're just like one dude fighting like 20 people.
Yeah, these
You
niggas
guys
be
gotta find
standing
a way
in
to
line to
beat
get
them
their
all
ass whooped.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to. Who gonna stand in line to get their ass whooped? That don't happen. Not in the real world. That shit does not pop off. Niggas jumping you, they hitting you. 3 and 4 people hitting you at the same goddamn time.
I don't know, like, stuff like that now doesn't fly as much in, like the modern era of gaming. Because it's just like, most people, they want like something they can just play. It's like an instant gratification type thing. They just play it and then boom. That's what it is. Like it's something they can get through without having to try to. As a matter of fact, I was in a GameStop this morning, and you know how they have like the program, that they constantly run. They're like, these are new games that are coming out. You have like a couple people talking about it. Like there was these 2 women talking about the games coming out, and then they're talking about some game. I forgot the title of it, but they're like, yeah, it's got a feature where you can just like restart if you die or whatever. It's like, that's such a good thing. It's like this game is so hard. It's like sometimes I just want to sit down and play it for a minute and get somewhere. Like I have to get ready to go to work or something, so I just want to like play this real quick.
Prince
and
of
try to get
Persia.
through.
Prince of Persia got any standards?
Yeah, the one for the Wii, that one was bad. Yeah, Prince of Persia for the Wii, I remember, like, you can't die. Like, you literally can't die in the game. Because, like, you're being followed around by the chick or whatever. Like, there's a female character. And she has magic powers. Like, if you just, like, throw yourself down a pit, she can just, like, float you back up. And so I was like, this game is terrible. Like, why would they do this?
Death Stranding. I don't know if I got to see the Death Stranding trailer.
Yeah, so I watched it, and it looked really cool, and I just was like, man, what is this game fully about? Like, I really want to know. When I watched it, I had like 1,000 questions, because whenever he went somewhere, there was always something new happening. So I was like, is he on a different planet, or like, what's going on with like the floating things that are following him, or like, what's this thing he's got? Why is he carrying a body on his backpack? So I just had 1,000 questions, but the game looks cool. Like, it looks sharp as far as graphics go and everything like that. Like, I just thought it looked really cool, and I couldn't figure out a damn thing that was happening.
So Death Stranding. Let's see what this really looks like. Try to pull this up for us.
I guess all the showing
This is a video where I thought it was somebody, the baby was popping out of pussy, apparently that was coming out of somebody's penis. I was not aware of that. Somebody had let me know that last night.
Oh.
So then I had to
Cheers.
erase that from my memory, you know what I'm saying?
Large.
Yo, what's going on with you, Shema? The boy Larry in the chat. What's up?
What's your level?
But yeah, so like the Jump Force game or whatever, I guess was good. I didn't really like the Jump games too much when I played them. Like I played the one on DS, the one on PS2, and then the PS3 one, and they were okay. I guess they weren't great, but
That's all.
This shit echoing in. I ain't even gonna lie. I just thought she was about to throw that nigga off the mountain like the damn.
Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The time flow fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is
There's
tons of them.
Was I cut the sound off?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
Some feminists is not gonna like this game though. Nigga rocking around having his own baby? Not about to have that shit whatsoever.
No.
A crypto buy it a day.
Your girl was eating that seed, you know what I'm saying? Swallowing that thing. You know what I'm saying? Swallowing that seed.
Oh,
What y'all know about
man,
that real
ridiculous.
shit?
Yeah, like it looks like it's gonna be really cool, but it definitely leaves a lot of questions, which is good because I mean, you want people to be interested and you want intrigue so that people are interested in buying your game. So, they definitely did their job with the trailer.
Yeah, it definitely kind of remind me of
To throw us truth.
I think
Yeah, true.
it kind of remind me of like Dead Space a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he got that shit popping out of his back. But it looked like a pretty interesting game. You know, I'll probably give it a try. When that shit go on sale for greatest hits, you know, I'll pick that
Waiting
shit
all
up.
the way till the end of his life.
You know, when that shit is free on the PS4, on PlayStation Plus, when that shit's free, I'll play it.
Oh man. This man, wait until it's 100% free.
Hey, I'm about to pick up that Black Ops. They just put Black Ops 3 in the goddamn store.
Why?
It's free. That's why. Shit. They made an announcement about that shit on E3. I'm about to pick that shit up. I'm gonna be the best nigga in the world.
I'm just
with that
wondering
shit.
why they even put that on the store.
Hey man, listen. I don't know what the fuck they got going on with it, but I'm taking full advantage. Okay.
I mean, hey, you want to get it, you do you.
Listen. You see these palms right here? They grubby. Okay. When some shit's free, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Smash.
Donald Trump on a pussy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm reaching. I'm grabbing that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Ah.
Trying to get sued.
Oh, yeah.
All kind of
Trying to get us taken off.
outside your house.
Hey man, listen, Donald Trump is the goddamn, that nigga there. I can't even holler and say the nigga's the man. Nigga's not the man, but tell you what, I'm gonna be the man on them free games, playing all them shits. I got a roster of free games right now. Ain't even played one of them.
I mean, so do I. I'm not gonna lie. Each month that it comes up, like.
Speaking of which, they drop PlayStation Plus members get Call of Duty 3 for free.
That's what we talking about.
You got that?
I'm about to get it. I'm about to be the best in the world at that shit.
I mean,
I might be the only person playing it, but I will be the best at that shit.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna play it. But I don't know. I might download it just to have it. But, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything with that, so I'll probably just save the hard drive to it.
Oh, it's the one with Kevin Spacey in it? Oh, you know I gotta get it now, Doug. That nigga Kevin Spacey.
You shouldn't have said that.
You know what I'm saying? My favorite goddamn actor from goddamn.
Yo, that's Modern Warfare. That shit sucks.
Huh?
Modern Warfare is the one with Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Kevin Spacey ain't in Black Ops?
No, he's in Modern Warfare.
Okay.
That's the futuristic bullshit.
I thought my nigga Kevin Spacey, Dr. Kaiser Sose. Nigga Kaiser Sose, I was gonna get to play with him goddamn with the straight foot.
That shit's ass. And it's easy as hell to do.
Now, I remember Modern Warfare was that shit back in the day. Modern Warfare 1 and 2? Niggas was playing the fuck out that shit.
Beat your cheap ass. Niggas got that screen watch. Hey, that shit.
Fuck that screen watching shit. Boy, that shit is some straight garbage.
Yeah,
speaking of straight garbage.
Okay, speaking of straight garbage.
That boy JR and the Cavs.
Oh man.
Just like trash, they got swept up. Swept them. Not even a gentlemanly sweep. Straight trash.
Straight broom action.
You know what I'm saying? Got out the goddamn Fantasia mops and cleaned their ass up. Got them all the way up out of there. Never had a chance.
I mean, if we gotta talk about this, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, Marty.
Oh man, just disappointing to watch all the way around. Like I don't. Oh my god.
Your boy broke his hand. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, doing stupid stuff. Like punching a whiteboard after getting mad at these niggas for losing game one.
I'm just saying, man, he had no choice. You know what I'm saying? He had to come up with some reason to not win after that shit. Like, fuck it. This nigga had the ball in his hand, looking at the clock, running the opposite direction, and standing there. Like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, listen.
I mean, he said on the court he thought they were winning, which I don't understand. Because he could have just looked at the scoreboard.
He had time for all that shit. If the coach couldn't call a timeout, he couldn't look up and see the scoreboard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then your boy LeBron just gave up at the end of the goddamn match, at the end of the damn tournament.
Oh yeah.
End of the OT.
He was he was done at that point.
I mean, you gotta defend this guy. He's your guy, dog.
I mean, he is. He is. I think that he is the best overall player to have played professional basketball. Does that mean he's the greatest? No, because that's subjective to everybody. And does that mean that he's the most successful? No, because obviously he's not. But so far as skill set goes, I mean, and that's my dude. Listen, I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I was extremely disappointed in his performance.
He got 51 points,
and they lost.
And he ain't even had the highlight of the goddamn game.
Yeah, the highlight of the game.
How you got 51 points? You're not the highlight people are talking about. That nigga J.R. Smith froze like he got hit by a damn ice ball from Sub-Zero. That nigga stood right in place. I mean, one of them old ones that keep you froze for a long ass time. So nigga jump over there 3 times and do an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? And a nigga slide on the side of the screen and say, whoopsie! That's what it looked like happened to him. The hen bottle in his hand and all.
Oh man, that's probably the best part of the finals is the memes that came from it.
Most definitely.
Oh my god, like the one where they had that man dribble all the way out and dribble to the liquor store.
Oh yeah. And
get the bottle of Henny. Oh man, I was dead when I saw it.
That one with it. I saw one where Buddy was like, J.R. Smith be like, and this nigga ran down the highway. This nigga ran down the street. He ran through the mall. The nigga was running through a Walmart. It looked like. That nigga was doing everything. That shit was ridiculous. And he was actually doing the shit. Like, this nigga was actually running down the street. Oh. Them memes are A1.
Oh man, that's the best meme I saw since like the one that happened mid-season with Russell Westbrook when like he got the ball inbounded and he took like 6 or 7 steps before he tried to dribble and like they just call a travel on him and then Steph Curry was like, oh, "What are you doing?" And then he's like, "I don't know." And they showed him like walking like all over the world. He just like has the ball in his hand, just like walking to different neighborhoods, different countries.
That man,
I was done when they.
That Russell Westbrook, boy. I'm telling you, man, they be getting away with all kind of shit, man. But we not about to let off on this nigga LeBron, okay? Listen, this man gave up in Game 4.
He did.
Them niggas was trying their hardest, Mark. It ain't his fault. I mean, it ain't his fault his team's sorry as fuck. But they really showed up. And that nigga, he might as well not even came out of the locker room. Talking about his hand, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, his hand wasn't broken. Was it bruised? Yeah, because it was visibly swollen, like, throughout the games.
That was a sock and bopper.
I mean, he did hurt his hand, but, like, you know, he also exaggerated it by, like, I pretty much played with a broken hand. I was like, okay, you didn't do that.
No, that nigga threw a ball on the rim, off the backboard, and two-hand slammer-jammer dunked that motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
Your hand wasn't broke, boy.
Yeah, his hand wasn't broken. I agree with you. His hand was not broken. He exaggerated that, and I was like, come on. If your hand was broken, you wouldn't have been able to do all that stuff. Was it bruised? Yeah, because you could see that it was bruised. Like there's several shots of like showing his hand. His hand was visibly swollen. Like you could tell that like it was bruised somehow. But like he exaggerated it by saying he played with a broken hand. I was like, come on, LeBron. Like really?
I remember Michael Jordan had AIDS. That nigga goddamn was on
his
deathbed.
That is the wrong person.
You know what I'm saying? No, Michael Jordan, he had AIDS, he was on his deathbed. He had the flu. The nigga took home the champion, made the game-winning shot in the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
A1
on his deathbed. He actually threw it from his deathbed.
Bounced off the wall.
Yeah.
You know, around the corner, off the windshield. That shit rolled around the goddamn what do you call that shit? The arena. Hit the rafters. Nothing but net.
Nothing but that. Yeah.
I remember them commercials. Them used to be the best, actually. Them old,
when they were playing a horse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. So that leads us to the discussion, man. The one everybody knows you can't really have, but we have it anyway.
Yeah, for some reason.
Jordan or LeBron, greatest of all time?
And I said neither one, but judging from what I think greatness is, I have LeBron James over Jordan.
He's got LeBron over Jordan. Now, he says his overall is Kareem is better than both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. My greatest all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You know, I try to give this man LeBron the benefit of the doubt because he definitely got the stats to back it up. But it's a lot of intangible things that puts him in second place, Blair. You know what I'm saying? You know, the idea that he got a moment stolen from him by J.R. Smith. You know what I'm saying? I was riding his coattails before then, bro. He got a moment stolen from him by J.R. Smith. It couldn't be much better than that, man. You know what I'm saying? He got the Mavericks moment. Trash.
Yeah. I mean, as large of a fan of LeBron as I am, there's no defending the Mavs series. Like, there's just not. Like, he just threw a smoke bomb and vanished, and people were like, what the hell is this? Like, what happened? And nobody knows. He just quit. Like, he just completely disappeared. And so, I mean, there's no defense for that. Like, I don't.
Let me see. You said Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain, yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain wasn't playing nobody, man.
Oh, he's playing Kareem?
Wilt Chamberlain wasn't playing Kareem when he got 100 points.
Well, no, but I mean, still, if somebody have 100 points in a basketball game for you,
Wilt Chamberlain is only going down in the Hall of Fame of dicking down bitches. Okay,
he is going in the Hall of Fame for that.
Huh? You probably need some gas, man. It's got like 4 miles too. Listen, man. Wilt Chamberlain, not in the discussion. Okay, that nigga he was alright back in his day. That nigga was not the man. You know what I'm saying? This is how I gauge the greatness, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I always put LeBron behind Jordan. Because we're still talking about Jordan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
when Jordan was playing, nobody was talking about fucking what's his damn name? Kareem Abdul. Nobody was talking about Kareem Abdul during the prime of Jordan. They was only talking about Jordan. You know, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was around, niggas, they might have been talking about Dr. J, but I'm not exactly sure if they were still talking about Dr. J when Kareem was around. Putting that hook on niggas, you know what I'm saying? Undefendable shot, as Marty says.
It is. It's an undefendable shot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This nigga was cheating. You can't even put him in the best.
He was so tall, he could jump with the sky hook, and he threw the ball down towards the basket. So even if you touch the basketball,
nigga was cheating. Nigga was cheating.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
That was a cheap shot. Like, it was an unstoppable, unguardable shot. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? You just hope he misses. You put a body on him and just hope he misses. Like, that's really all you can do about the shot. It was crazy.
Kick that nigga in the kneecaps. Take him out for a couple of days, a couple of games.
That's what about, like, scoring 100, yeah, that'll probably never happen again, or at least anytime soon. Like, I don't think anybody's going to score 100 points in a game.
No time soon. Unless somebody get a real hot 3 streak. You know what I'm saying? I mean, super hot. Like, nigga think he playing horse hot. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just undefended Steph Curry, super prime time night in the gym, shooting 77 shots.
He's just not missing.
Not missing nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just inbounding and then shooting.
I just can't. 100 points. Like, did they literally just pass him the ball in the post like every single possession and just like
he
just scored every possession? That's a lot of shots. Like, that's a lot of shots. A lot of shots.
How many points did the rest of the team have? Like 20?
I have no idea.
They might even had like 10 points.
Yeah, that's possible. They just passed it to him, and then he had to make 50 shots under them to get to 100 points. And that's 50 shots if he made all of them.
That nigga was not playing no games, Doug.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I
100%
agree with that.
Did they have like longer quarters or some shit back then, though?
I'm not sure about the time. I don't remember what the time was per quarter back then, but he's like, yeah, we'll dunk this way to 100, but like, you gotta still, that's a 50 dunks. Like,
I don't know, man.
If
I
that
feel
man
like
dunks
something about
50 dunks on
I feel something about that just is not as impressive as it seems like it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess, but that's
that nigga
crazy.
made 100 points. He must have been playing against the sorriest team. He must have been playing like a junior high school team or some shit. How do you let one person score 100 points? Well, it must have been when he was like the only black person on the team. Everybody else was white.
He's just unstoppable at that point.
I can't believe that shit.
Because I mean, like, Will Chamberlain also played at a time where like people weren't growing as tall, like, and so he was just huge.
Oh, so this nigga playing? Like, you have a fucking high schooler on the damn playground playing basketball with some damn preschool kids, man.
But it's not that bad,
man. Nobody want to hear that shit. You say LeBron is in a Dominique Wilkins category? He can't even be in Dominique Wilkins category. Nigga don't even go to the damn baskall slam dunk contest. That's another reason he can't be better than Jordan. He don't even participate in the other shit.
Slam dunk contest?
He ain't. He got to be all around goddamn gross. Okay, don't just hand me no fucking stats. Okay, this nigga don't got him in accomplishments. He don't got him in fucking just sheer goddamn entertainment value. Okay, that man Jordan is still being talked about. His legacy is gonna be living when that nigga LeBron retires. People still gonna be talking about Jordan.
Which makes no sense to me, but
the shoes, player.
Weak ass shoes.
The shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if niggas gonna be buying LeBrons when he's gone. Niggas about to start buying them damn swaggy peas. Okay?
Man, stop.
Them swaggy peas is about to go up in stock,
do
bro.
You're not talking to me.
Swaggy peas. Got to get your swag.
Do not talk to me. Do not talk to me about that. If there's any one thing that we need to agree on right now,
swag.
The fact that Nick Young has a ring is the biggest tragedy out of all of this.
Hey,
the largest tragedy.
It might not have happened if LeBron ain't quit in the fourth.
They still would have lost that game, even if he hadn't quit. I think they still would have lost that. You know how many? Do you see how many bricks them people? They were Habitat for Humanity on that court. They were building houses for homeless people.
I feel
the Cleveland Cavaliers were.
Them niggas definitely building
houses for homeless
people.
That's a valiant thing to do. It's a great thing to do, but you needed to try to win a basketball. Like, man, Oh my god, the fact that Nick Young has a ring, that still just makes me angry beyond belief.
Charles Barkley could never get a ring.
Yeah, and Charles Barkley was a great player, but Swaggy P has a ring, and that is just infuriating. Which is one reason, I think that using rings to judge, how great a person is, like their individual worth as a player, makes no sense. Because there's so many like players that are great, like great players that just never got them, but then like
because they got destroyed by the greatest. That's why.
I mean, that's not even true.
Even
in a
them
lot of
great
cases.
players was like, that nigga's ridiculous. We can't fuck with the nigga. Like when the greats are telling you that this nigga is way greater than me. I mean, how you gonna argue that? You know what Swaggy P can say? I'll play the nigga LeBron. Got a ring on him.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
If he ever says some shit
Got
like
a
that,
ring on
he
him.
deserves to get slapped in the face.
Moonwalking in my Swaggy
He
P's.
deserves to get slapped in the face.
Moonwalking in my Swaggy P's, bro.
Because like, in my opinion, rings are a team accomplishment. Like it's really hard for me to see their worth in if we're judging an individual player.
I feel you.
Like, because there's so many factors to winning a ring. Like, it's not just like, oh, this guy's so gross, we're automatically gonna get a ring. Like, it's just not true. Like,
except for when Jordan played 3 in a row and got a ring 3 times. Then he left. In the 2 years he left, they didn't do shit. Then he came back. They got 3 more rings.
I mean, it's not that they didn't do shit. They almost went back to the finals, but
they didn't get that ring.
Okay, I mean that.
So you really think Golden State Warriors would have won without Swaggy P?
Yes.
Just the glue that held them together.
Yes,
brother. He held them together, brother. You know what I'm saying? When that nigga was having a bad game, that nigga Swaggy P did his jig. He got down.
Oh my!
He did a swag move, and you know what? That brought him back for that 4th game.
And this man wants to be called Swaggy Champ now.
He's a champion. God damn it, call him by his name.
This man said he went from getting snitched on to putting a ring on. I was so mad when he said that. I shut off my television.
Hey man, listen, bro.
I was like, hell no.
She wish she was with him now. She wish she was with a champion.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? That nigga swagster.
Please.
Shoot, man. Listen up.
No one wants to be possible. Okay, like, Zach, basketball is star dominant, yes, but like, oh my god. Hey, I don't know. I feel people are so narrow-sighted. They're so short-sighted talking about rings as an individual's accomplishment. Like, that makes no sense. You could have the greatest star to ever play basketball, and if their teammates do not show up, they're not winning a ring. I don't care who you are.
But okay,
hands down, you're not winning a ring.
All right, well, let me ask you this though.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is the point from which people are coming from, and it just hit me, because I ain't really into the sport shit, but if LeBron was as good as he was and never made it to the playoffs, would you still think he was the GOAT?
I mean, I don't think he's the GOAT.
Well, I'm saying, would you think he was better than Jordan if he?
Yeah.
As far as great,
I think he's a better
greatness,
individual basketball player.
As greatness, not stat wise, because we know he's got the stats. He's got his stats. His accomplishments are in his stats. But there's something to be said. If he never won a title, there is a reason why Kobe was not as good as Michael. And a lot of people would argue that he was the closest thing to Michael while he was around.
Well, yeah, because Kobe Bryant completely fashioned his game off of Michael Jordan and copied directly Michael Jordan, which is why I don't have Kobe anywhere like high on my greats list, because I don't feel that he made any kind of great impact in the game. Because he literally just copied another player and what they did, and that was his style of play.
So you feel like he was just a very good player, but his impact as far as innovation.
He basically was like a worse version of Jordan.
I mean, that's a fair point to make.
So I mean, to me, in the way I judge great players, like Kobe is not like in my top 5 or whatever, but I mean, for some people, he's like, he's the greatest player, like one of the greatest players.
Okay.
So,
but I just feel like the idea that if you take winning out, I mean, his success rate has to do a lot with why people consider you to be great. If he was not as okay, let me say, because me and Marty talked about this. There's a difference between being the best and the greatest.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
The best we have assumed is an objective thing. To be the best is objective because it's going to be backed up by numbers. There is some arguments you could make because the way the game is played as opposed to how it used to be played. But if we're going to go off the numbers and his accomplishments in the number world, I think hands down, his performance shown that he is not only the best basketball player playing now, but probably is the best all around basketball player to have ever played. Best.
Yeah.
But when it comes to greatest,
that doesn't necessarily mean the greatest.
I think his lack.
We both agree on that. So.
I think his lack of. When people say about the ring, he ain't got the rings, what they're saying is, you could be good as you want to be. I could be the best in the world at Tekken. If I don't win no tournaments, that shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean nothing for me to be the best. I'll never be the greatest if I don't win no tournaments. It don't matter how good I perform in tournaments. There's no way people are ever gonna call me the greatest if I win, a tournament. I win some locals, but I don't win some great.
I understand that.
And
I understand that.
That weighs a lot heavier than I think that his ability to play different position plays.
But it's like, okay, hold on. I understand what you're saying, and I don't, disagree with it. Like, I don't disagree with that. But I think that there's a certain point where just comparing people and then just saying, oh, well, this guy has more rings or whatever, so he's a greater player. Like, I think that's stupid.
To only base it off that, I would agree.
Right. But, like, it's like if a person has won, more than one ring, like if they won multiple championships or whatever, and, somebody has won, like, 2 more championships than them or whatever, using that as a point to say that, this person's a greater player because they won 2 more championships or whatever. Like, I don't really feel that should be completely indicative of, like, who's a greater player. Like, I think when you talk about great athletes, not just in basketball, but, like, in various sports, like, their greatness is their impact to the game, and their greatness also their impact outside of the game. Most of the time, when you talk about a great athlete, So in their sport, big impact, and also outside of their sport, big impact. And so that's one of the things that I have Jordan at 3, LeBron at 2, and Kareem at 1, is because, like, LeBron's impact, his impact inside the game, I say would be like, slightly less or moderately less than Jordan's, but then, like, his impact outside the game and around the game, I think is so much more that when I measure greatness, that's what I put him above.
Now, when you say his impact outside the game, what do you encapsulate in? Because I would say Mike was pretty impactful outside of the game.
He definitely was.
Very, very, even still impacting outside of the game. And he ain't played for 20 years. He ain't played for 20 years, and he is still an impactful person, or he has an impact on the game and the culture around the game, and just in culture in general, especially just black culture in general. He has impact still, whether it's the best impact or not the best impact. His impact is lingering.
So yeah, I should clarify that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, positive impact.
Okay, well, I mean, what do you consider positive? You mean just doing stuff for the community?
That's part of it.
I mean, because you could argue his business savvy is. I mean, it led the way for a lot of what basketball players do now. You know, before Jordan had his shoe popping off as big as it was, I don't remember a whole lot of people having tremendous shoe deals like that, like with their name on it, where they're the forerunner of the company. You got to remember he had movies, he had Space Jam. I mean, you might not think about that as like, oh, that's a great accomplishment, but I mean, Space Jam. Does LeBron have a movie?
He's in Space Jam 2, actually.
Is he? Is Space Jam 2 out?
He was in another movie, actually.
No, it's still making it. He's gonna be in Space Jam 2.
The hell was it?
Oh, he's doing everything to try to be Jordan. I got you. But I'm just saying. So the Be Like Mike, got named the Be Like Mike.
He's in a music video with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he's in a music video with Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? The Haynes man. He was a sex symbol to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? That nigga had a tremendous impact, actually. You know, and if we're gonna talk about what he does, I mean, he has great basketball camps. I guess everybody has that, but I don't really know. I don't follow that. I know he does have like an elite basketball camp for all-American players. So where I think he falters and where I think I would give it to LeBron is when it comes to things that affect the black community solely. LeBron hasn't beaten that hands down. And maybe that's where you say the positive. When it comes to the black community, I think the positivity shines more in LeBron's favor because he's more outspoken against some of the issues that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's part of it. Like, that's a big part of it. But it's like he does a lot more to see, like all the stuff you just named or whatever. It's stuff that Jordan's doing like to make money, but it's like not really doing anything like for people on like a socially uplifting level. Like that's all stuff that's like making money, and that's fine, whatever. But like, look at like we were talking about earlier boxing, whatever. The reason why people consider Muhammad Ali like the greatest or whatever, like you can't just base it off of his record or whatever like that. But the reason why he's considered that is because of the stands that he took socially, the things that he did socially. Like that's what people consider him. Like that encompasses that.
I feel you, but then other people will make the argument that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest only based off of his record.
His record, and that's true. Like,
so it's so I mean that's a coin toss that it's like we were talking about with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is arguably it might not even be an argument anymore. He is arguably the best quarterback to have ever graced the NFL, right? Behind him was Joe Montana. I don't know that either one of the motherfuckers, outside of what they're contractually obligated to do, I don't know either one of them ever did real community outreach, like that, or got very social about anything. If anything, I think they probably shied away from all social topics. But they, much like in basketball, they're playing a team sport. Now unlike our two people, they play the same position. But even if you did like running backs and a goddamn quarterback, like at the end of the day, once you add extra elements in, I can see where your argument goes. Like with Muhammad Ali, the exception is made for him because of what he did outside.
Yeah.
But Jim Brown also did a whole lot of shit. That nigga is not considered the best. I don't even know what the fuck Jim Brown was. You know what I'm saying?
Jim Brown is definitely considered like
the best, the greatest.
Like the greatest.
What was he? I know he was a Browns player. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. The nigga was great in the movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was in some great movies.
Oh yeah, he actually was.
He was in some great movies. You know what I'm saying? Great actor. But I don't know what his position was.
I mean, he was a running back.
Okay, well, Jim Brown ain't considered the greatest running back of all time.
Actually, by a lot of people, yeah, he's considered that.
He probably pretty good. Probably pretty
really good, like amazing. Like that's like why they won that championship, because they literally just handed him the ball game. He dominated people. Like that's literally what happened. Like he is
of all time, though. Of all time, of his time, undoubtedly.
So
of all time, I don't know that his social workings are what make people. You know why people think he was the greatest? If that was the case, it's because of his performance.
It's a combination of both.
You know, had he had that performance and was not doing community outreach, people still would have thought he was the greatest in that position at that time. You know, and that's where I kind of lead. That's where I kind of just feel like, I try to eliminate the outside stuff and leave it to the sport, simply because if I add outside stuff, there are other people that are not as good on the court, but they're good enough that if their outside shit was added in,
but see, that's the thing that makes,
yeah.
But see, all the people that we're talking about, that's what makes, it's the combination of both that makes people transcend good and go to great. Like that's the thing. Like when you look at great athletes and stuff, like it's the combination of those things.
Except for the ones I gave you: Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Floyd Mayweather. These people are great because of what they do in their sport, not because of what they do off the field or out of the ring. So while your point is correct, I don't disagree that it does come into play when it comes to certain people. Other people, it's strictly what they do. So if you can base some people off of how great it is strictly off what they do in the game.
Well, the ones I'm talking about are like considered universally great. I mean, like even with all that Tom Brady has accomplished and stuff like that, like many people argue and feel that Tom Brady is not the greatest quarterback. Many people feel that Floyd Mayweather is not the greatest boxer of all time in his weight class or whatever. Like, but the ones that have that combination, the two are more universally seen as, being greatest of all time type.
Yeah, but that's
type material.
I guess I get that, and I guess for me that just it's just as it doesn't make much sense to you that people would blame LeBron for some shit that J.R. Smith did. You know what I'm saying? It's equally crazy as that is. Funny, you know what I'm saying to you. It's just as crazy to me to think that you're gonna argue me that. Not you, but a person will argue me that, Tom Brady is not the best quarterback, but the person who you are naming as the best or the greatest of all time doesn't even have none of the accolades, or doesn't even touch this person, in accolades or accomplishments, or if they are behind this person in accomplishments. And just because they go to the petting zoo with the goddamn kindergartners on the weekdays, you know what I'm saying, and they go feed the hungry, them motherfuckers not better at being a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And that's.
But you're using an extremism argument, like because you just said like this person doesn't even touch what Tom Brady has done and blah 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 whatever, but he does this stuff. It's like, okay, well then nobody is going to consider him.
Jerry Rice.
What about Jerry?
He's not. These are not extremes. I'm saying Jerry Rice considered one of the best wide receivers of all time, but it's only based off of what he did on the field. It's not. I don't think about Jerry Rice and be like, oh, his philanthropy, his social goddamn standings. I don't think about Tony Gonzalez and think about what he did off the field. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about goddamn David Justice and what he did off the field. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about Babe Ruth and what he did off the field. The ones that were considered the greatest of all time is because of what they did during the game. Everything else seems like I have to make you. The only way I can make you great is to add to you. And if I'm talking about strictly your position in sports, not as a human being, I think LeBron is a better human being than Michael Jordan, hands down. You know, we won't have that argument. He is a greater human being than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know, but when we're sticking to basketball,
there are a lot of people that are greater human beings than Michael Jordan.
You know, when it comes to sticking to basketball, do I think he's a greater basketball player? I just, not with all things encompassed. But I mean, that's why this is a open-ended, never-ending goddamn conversation.
And that's why, you know, judging with something is the greatest, quote unquote, of all time is a subjective thing. Like there's really no, you know, there's no objective way to really do this. So that's the reason why people have this debate all the time about various subjects, not just basketball.
Not just basketball.
Yeah, about various subjects, like, you know, what's the greatest fighting game of all time? Like, what's the greatest, you know, whatever of all time? That's the reason why people have
What's the best titty
Tyson or Ali?
Tyson or Ali?
Ali. I think Ali would probably. I don't know. If they both were in their primes,
I got Tyson.
Tyson might knock him out just because the nigga's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, I feel Tyson would only have to land like
maybe 2 or 3 punches, and he might get him out of it. He might get him out of it. Man. And watching Mike fight in his prime, like, it was ridiculous.
It was
oh my god, it was scary. Like,
it was a beast for real.
Folks were literally terrified of the man. Like,
yeah, that would be a.
Oh man.
Like, I would still say Ali is a better boxer, but if they fought each other, that nigga might get his ass knocked out. There's a lot of people I feel probably was better boxers than Mike Tyson, but they didn't get a chance to box.
Exactly.
The niggas got hit. The niggas got hit and went down real quick.
Go ahead cheating this shit, man.
See, like that was the thing when Mike was like.
He changed boxing itself. Especially in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that thought that, you know, Tyson didn't have a lot of technique to him, but then once he stepped in the ring, he did. Like he was able to move completely around people's punches, boom, right in the chin. They're done. Like,
that nigga Balrog was not playing with him, dog.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. Balrog was not playing. Exism Balrog.
Yeah, he's 10. Look at that nigga Balrog popped up on the screen just then.
Oh, no.
I'll let your boy abstract. Appreciate it.
You almost forget he was a heavyweight because he moved so good.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's a heavyweight?
Exactly.
You saw him hit somebody, he's like, oh, wait, he's
definitely heavyweight. Yeah, you see him hit somebody, he's definitely heavyweight. Like, that Mike was so scary. He was so scared. So yeah, I might have Tyson winning that.
I think Tyson would win that match, but like I said, I think overall.
Exactly, Miller Ball.
Overall,
everyone has a plan to get punched in the face.
I'll leave it, take it.
But it's still alive.
But goddamn,
the best quote they were.
That's when you wish you could just put errors with errors. Like if you could just get a time machine and grab a nigga from one era and make him play somebody else. It still wouldn't be fair. You know, it still wouldn't be fair because the nigga who's from the new era is always gonna have the knowledge of the old niggas.
Yeah.
He's gonna have new techniques and shit.
Yeah, and like that's one reason why, you know, it's hard to compare the different eras. Even going back to our original, debate with LeBron and Jordan, just like they're completely different rule sets. Like the game is completely changed. You know, so far as boxing goes, boxing has completely evolved. Like, there's a lot of different techniques and different things that people use in boxing now, or during, you know, Tyson in his prime as compared to, you know, Muhammad Ali in his prime. And it's just like it's hard to, it's really hard to compare those eras like that. And so, but I mean, that's one reason why you have so many people constantly having this debate, is because they want to try to compare the eras and stuff. Because it's kind of interesting to do at the same time, you know. But I mean, you know, some of the comparisons are just not fair.
That's true.
So
that's like they try to compare a nigga knee to me, but I just be like, man, listen. When I was back in the day, I was beating the hell out that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I was tearing them out the goddamn frame. You know what I'm saying? You know, now, you know, I'm an old soul. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the same era anymore.
Getting tore up by Fave.
You know what I'm saying? Not Favo taking me out the game. You know what I'm saying?
More Favo.
Shout out to Favo.
Shout out to Favo. Goddamn, before Holla at my boy Horror.
Like that.
Oh, man.
Shit. So let's get into some more realistic stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, let's do it.
Like this nigga Marty believes that nigga LeBron is the best. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's in his ideological box. You know what I'm saying? Nothing you could tell this nigga's ever
I don't know
gonna
if you
get
can
him out
call
of
that
his
an
box. You know what I'm
ideological
saying?
box, but alright.
But we had a little question go up today on the on Twitter, and it was asking about people being in their box. You know, when we have factoids or we have a personal stake in an ideologue. A little phlegm in the throat. Anyway, when we have a certain ideal that we live by, or certain ideology that we follow, sometimes somebody will come along with like a brand new take on it, or an opposing take, and a contradictory thought as opposed to what we have on deck. And sometimes we want to feel like that shit can't be the case. But is that because that shit's wrong, or is it because we stuck in our fucking box? How you feel about it, Mark?
I think that is incredibly situational, because it depends on what subject you're talking about and all that. Because I mean, there are some things that are facts, and then if somebody says something that is contrary to that fact, then you're gonna be like, well, no, that's wrong, whatever. But I mean, it just depends on if the subject is subjective or is it objective. So, I mean, for me personally, I don't really get too rattled about people challenging my ideology.
If you fucking me up too, bro.
Ideologies. Unless there's something that I feel that I can prove, but that is factual or whatever. That's really the main time when I'm like, okay, no, you're wrong. Like, you don't need to be thinking that, and this is why you don't need to think that. But if it's something subjective or whatever, or I might have a debate with someone just to get their side of the point or whatever. But I'm not gonna be completely I guess crazed and outlandish about it.
It's definitely something I think about all the time. If y'all don't know me by now, you should know. I try to see the whole picture of a lot of stuff. I find myself sometimes watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I just see people having completely different outlooks on the same shit. Mm-hmm. And I think to myself, most people, they go on YouTube and they find the point of view that they most likely align themselves with, and they watch stuff that sticks to that point of view. Like if you're a Democrat, you're gonna look at stuff about Democrats and stuff about Republican shit. You're probably gonna write that shit off. You're probably gonna watch MSNBC, and you'll never believe anything come on Fox News, and vice versa. If you probably like a Republican, I guess libertarian, close to Republican type person, you might be watching Fox News and taking that shit as the gospel, and think CNN tells nothing but fucking lies, or think MSNBC tells nothing but fucking lies. Y'all both are watching news. You're both getting your information from a third party. How do you go about getting a chance to change a person's ideology about what's going on, when some things you can't base strictly on fact? Because at the end of the day, if you're getting it through a news report and I'm getting it through a news report, we're not there. We can only go so far until you get to a point where you just believe in it because that's what you want to believe.
Yeah.
And I just always think to myself, I'm like, how often is it that people actually think to themselves like the other side? I know empathy is something that I talk about a whole lot, and how people don't have empathy. And I feel like because the lack of empathy that exists, people don't have the ability to change their perspective. I find like a lot of people get stuck in a box. As much as they might feel like they're open to new ideas, you know, I find that people actually don't have that happen nearly as much as they should, and they actually kind of stunt their mental growth, their ability, and their experiences and their outlooks on stuff, simply because they're being stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. Like, I don't have anything, to counter or to, disagree with. But I guess to add to that point, when you're talking about someone's ideology, like, people tend to prioritize how they feel about something rather than what is actually the case.
What's right?
And like what's right or what's wrong. And that's a big issue because, using the example that you just used about, like, if you're a Democrat, if you're like a Republican or something, like, I guess at the end of the day, you are just trusting sources of information if you break it down to, I guess, the most, base element of that idea. But there are also sources of information that have been proven to be, lying to people, basically. Mm-hmm. Not very accurate or whatever. So, like, just to talk about me or whatever, I generally don't trust Fox News because when I have researched Fox News in years past, they have been proven to be lying to people almost half the time. And so if Fox News says something, I won't completely, just be like, oh, Fox News said it can't possibly be true. I'll take that information and I'll go cross-reference to various other sources to see if there are other news sources saying the same thing, or there are other news sources being like, this is actually what happened or whatever. And so basically, as an individual, unless you were there and experienced it, really the only thing you can do is to look up as many sources of information as you can and to see what lines up and what doesn't. I mean, that's really all that you can do. I mean, there's no way for you to 100% be like, oh, I was there, I know exactly what happened because I experienced it. No.
And I think I think what happens more often than not is when there becomes a group
thing. So Fox News is classified as an entertainment source and not a news section, according to what they put themselves down as, like, the all that big over and stuff. Like, they file themselves as an entertainment source. So they don't even file themselves as a news source. So
what I think happens a lot of times is there becomes a groupthink that becomes the consensus, and then people fall into that, and then people who are opposite of that seem to be conspirators. Now, that's how conspiracy theories work, and it's funny how conspiracy theories work, because you can never really tell when a conspiracy theory is some bullshit or when that shit is actuality.
Well, I mean, that's how they thrive, because a conspiracy theory doesn't have to have any proof of burden. You can just, like, say something and then just be like, see, this weird coincidental thing just lined up, so it has to mean that we're all being mind controlled. And it's like, okay, no, we're not. Not even not the extreme ones. I mean things that they will, like, okay, I'll give you a good example. Like the weapons of mass destruction shit, right? Yeah. That was ran by every news channel. It was a government pumped it into us. It was on all the news stations, all the news stands. But then there was like a few people that was like, you know what? There ain't no fucking weapons of mass destruction. Y'all motherfuckers trying to get over there for other causes, and y'all just saying that shit is, when that shit is not the case. Now, if somebody presents that to you, that's just like if somebody presents to me that, it's Tuesday, and okay, well, let's say being the news, being a flat earther. Yeah, let's say the news presents to me that the Earth is flat.
All the magazines are presenting to me that the Earth is flat. You know, all of this shit's coming by, and then somebody says to me, "Hey, you know the Earth is not flat." I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers are talking about. This shit is not flat. Look, this shit is round as a motherfucker. That's why you can't see some shit. And then, you know, and then you be like, "Oh man, nah, man." But listen, everybody says, goddamn, that the shit's flat. Now, is he to the masses, to you and me, who are looking at the news and all other sources that we believe to be credible, and they telling us, "Oh yeah, Earth flat as a motherfucker."
Well, that's not being a conspiracy theorist at that point. That's just like you going along with something due to mass suggestion. So it's not like being a conspiracy theorist.
No. What I'm saying is, if that was the consensus is that the Earth is round, right?
Well, I mean, you know, the consensus many years ago was that the Earth was flat, and then it was proven that it was
round, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's just say, for the sake of this topic, right? You know, if we were still in the world believing that the Earth was flat, and a motherfucker came up to you and told you the Earth was round, he would be correct.
Yeah.
You would be wrong. Everybody would be wrong. But he would look like the conspirator, right? He would like some kind of conspiracy crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, how does one decipher the ability to go against what they know to be the truth? The same way when we had those weapons of mass destruction, everybody just knew that they had some fucking bombs over there and that they was up to no good. Even though, got over there, these motherfuckers ain't have shit. Found out later it was all a big ass lie.
Yeah.
You know, what allows you to be able to expand your mind? And, you know, in being able to do that, does that make you too gullible of a person, or does that make you a very in tune person?
Well, it's a balance, because one, you have to be raised with the will to want to learn things. So it's like you don't automatically believe everything that you hear. And for example, that's the biggest thing that my mother and father told me, was like, you know, there are things that we're teaching you that, you know, we believe, but you need to find out, you know, things that you believe, and you need to find out things that, like, you know, find out facts for yourself. And so, you know, that's what I do a lot. And but you have to find a balance. Like, you have to do it within reason, because if you try to take in every single thing that you hear from people and try to like, well, he might be right, I need to consider that too. Like, oh, she might be right, I need to consider that too. And eventually, there are so many wild points of view that you're like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on anymore. So there has to be a limit. Like, you have to limit yourself, but you have to just find, you know, that center. You just have to find that balance.
Yeah.
You know, and most of the time, like, a lot of like pretty much like 99% of conspiracy theories, whatever, like random things that people come up with, like, are
probably trash.
They have no basis whatsoever.
Probably
like,
trash.
Like, if you take what they say and you research the topic for like a few minutes, you'll just be like, okay, well, like, that can't possibly be true, because like this and this happened. So if those happen, why would this happen? And then plus, the main thing you need to ask yourself is, what would someone have to gain by setting up said conspiracy? Because that is why a conspiracy is set up, is to achieve a goal. So let's say with the whole flat Earth thing, you know, they're flat earthers are like, oh, you know, we're all just being made to believe that the Earth is round. It's like, okay, let's take your perspective and let's say that it happened. What would anyone have to gain by convincing the entire world that the Earth is round instead of it being flat? Like, what purpose would it serve?
Globe sales.
But then you just sell maps.
Globes cost more than match now.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, and that right there is a conspiracy theory.
Got outside the box, brother.
Expand your mind, brother.
Your mind, brother. You got to sell them globes, brother.
Yeah, so
you can't run around with no goddamn map-shaped goddamn basketball, nigga. You got to get a goddamn globe-shaped basketball. Pulling the wool, brother.
As I said,
Pulling that wool.
As I said, it makes when you break down a conspiracy theory into those elements, you can find out really quickly what is actually bullshit and what is not. And so, there's some conspiracy theories I've heard that have had a reasonable amount of backing. I'm like, okay, it's possible that something like this happened. Can they prove it? No, because it's conspiracy theory. So they didn't bring about any real proof. They're just look at these, look at these weird events that lined up. This could happen. It could, yeah, sure. But unless there's something some hard evidence we can look at and be like, okay, well, maybe this has something to do with it or whatever, then not really a thing to look into. And as I said, the main thing, you have to look at what would someone have to gain through this. Because a lot of conspiracy theories, like I said, there's just no point to it. It's okay, you convinced everyone of this. What do you gain from this by doing it? And usually most conspiracy theorists can't give you an answer because there isn't one. There's nothing to gain from it.
True enough. And I mean, that's just something I like to think about, like I said, from time to time. I like to keep my mind open to different things because, even when I think about, your example there, when I think about, politics and stuff, sometimes to me it seems like, oh, this shit is shooting yourself in the foot. But when you don't have the omnipresence to know what is pulling what strings is what hands are pulling what strings, it may seem harmless, and I think something like I go back to the weapons of mass destruction, right? Because that's the most realistic situation I can think about, where for all intents and purposes, it only looks like to us oh, they're trying to go and defend our honor.
Well, yeah, because you have to look at how a lot of those countries have been, have been a lot of those countries have been portrayed to us as these twisted, war-torn lands of savages that just all hate the United States and they do all these evil things, and we need to go over there and give them freedom, aka steal their oil and resources and all that. But we need to go give them freedom. So to most people that don't really think critically or think any deeper about that, they're like, oh well, they have to be evil. We've been taught this our whole lives. There's no way that they're not evil. And so, that's one reason why the whole, there's weapons of mass destruction over there. That's the reason why that lie works. It's because, the American people are like, oh, I knew it. They're going to try to nuke us. Blah, blah, get over there and dismantle all that stuff. Go and kick Saddam's teeth in. Blah, 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 all this stuff. But it's if you think more critically about it or whatever, doesn't really make too much sense because, looking at it from Saddam's perspective, starting a war with the United States would be a terrible idea. Horrible idea. He doesn't have the resources and manpower to be able to fight Afghanistan. So he can't really
None of these places that we go to war to ever have the ability to fight us.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why we don't go fight China. Because China has more people and more resources, they could beat us in the fight. Yeah. So it's we don't go do that. But so it's from his perspective, starting just an outright war with the United States would be really stupid idea. The second off, the United States helped put Saddam in power. So it's
which they stay doing.
Yeah. So I mean, he could chomp on the hand that feeds him, I guess, but again, what would he have to gain from?
And see, that's where things, okay, taking that knowledge, right? With the Fox News, you look up and you see that, okay, 50% of the shit they're telling you is false, right? But that's a big lie to be in cahoots with and be pushing. In fact, I don't know any time we went to war that news in general did not push war, So then the idea becomes, if y'all motherfuckers will lie to me about this, y'all motherfuckers will lie to me about anything. So then that goes back to, well, how can I trust any of these sources? But this is the only sources I got. So when they tell me something about, you know, let's say I'm fucking a Bernie Sanders supporter, right? And they give me some information about Bernie Sanders. How can I can't even take any of that shit as anything. I can't take it as the truth. I can't take it as false. Because these motherfuckers have full-throated told me a lie to my face and pushed a war several times over. You know, why wouldn't they just push some shit about the person that they might see people are following, or let's say, you know, Hillary Clinton, or hell, Trump, right? Mm-hmm. You know, how could I argue that, you know, this shit here that they're telling me is an actual fact when I know these motherfuckers lie all the fucking time? Why do I believe them some of the times and other times I don't believe them? I can't go off of a report that they got from somewhere else, because them same people they got the report for were the same motherfuckers telling us to go to war at the same time. If it's all pretty much self-circulating, you know, when do you get to the circle of I can trust these motherfuckers to tell me something, you know? Or is everything really just relying on personal research, and you know, you just gotta fucking, if you don't see it working, then don't believe it shit? Do you have to become so far out to on your own,
like so much of a skeptic that
yeah,
like, you have to constantly do that? If you don't trust him, I mean, everything in life comes down to some kind of trust. Like if you break everything down to, you know, to a base element level, like everything comes down to some trust, some kind of thing that's like, okay, why do I think that certain things work the way that they do, or whatever? Because this is what I was taught, or like this is what I do. So like everything comes down to that at some point. So like I said before, you have to do a combination of doing your own research on things, trying to find various sources to find out what happened, and just go with the things that, you know, that are judged the most credible. I mean, you know, even with the various fact checking and stuff that goes on now, you know, people always bring up the things like, well, what if the fact checkers are in cahoots with, you know, these people to perpetuate a lie? And it's like, that's possible. Okay,
very possible.
That's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. When you look at what they have to gain from it and all that stuff too, is like they can just keep people thinking one thing, and you know, they can just have something happen, you know, happening in the works. But you just have to judge with your own personal research things that are happening within your community and outside in the world, and you have to try to judge every perspective that you can, and then you will come to the conclusion that you can feel satisfied because I thought believing.
That's true.
So that's really all you can do.
That's true. And you know, that's why I always tell people, and you know, not like what you hear on the news about facts and alternative facts, but I am a believer that facts are relative. And when I say they're relative to what you know. You know, what you know at the moment are what make facts facts. You know, as far as I know, the earth is round. It's been proven to me. You know, as far as I know, there are other planets that circle our globe. I ain't never seen the motherfuckers myself.
Yeah, that's actually the strange thing about the flat earthers is like they believe that the other planets that exist are round. It's just like for some reason the earth is unique in the fact that it's flat. And I was just like, I don't understand.
Because we got them fucking bulldozers, Marty. They ain't got bulldozers on the other planets. You gotta put this shit together, Marty. You know what I'm saying? We got bulldozers.
It's all there if you really want to see it, man. You know?
Yeah, if you go out,
you gotta open your eyes. Wake up, sheeple.
With them C's at, you know. But yeah, man, you know, I just I'm probably, and I'll always be a believer that, you know, facts are relative to what you know, but that doesn't mean you throw out facts. How do I put this? You can't just make up a fact. just because you believe something to be true. However, every fact that you know, you believe relative to what you know about the fact. And what that really means to me is pretty much, I know this is liquid because of what they told me liquid is and what the substance liquid is like. And this meets the qualifications, so I know this is liquid. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, and this could be some other substance besides a liquid. But as far as I know right now, relative to what I know about what liquid is, what's in here is liquid. And that's kind of pretty much how it is. Up until the point where the Earth was found out to be round, the fact of the matter was the Earth was flat.
The Earth is flat, and if you go too far, you could just sail off the edge and die.
Boom.
That's what people thought.
That's what people thought, and it was a fact back in the day, till it was no longer a fact.
And see, that's where experience and learning and education becomes so important, because there are a lot of perspectives that are just made out of sheer ignorance. Like, that people just haven't experienced any type of person like this or any type of thing like this or whatever. And so they just make some kind of weird judgment just off of, okay, well, I don't really know anything about this, so I'm just going to say this thing. But then once people experience something or like learn more about it or something, it's like, oh, okay, so it's like not actually like this. And people have done that about like various substances, like, various things on Earth, different types of people on Earth, different races of people.
Shit that they study. They study and find out that what they studied was false.
Yeah, because I mean, hell, like there's still, I saw this recently. There's still like schools that, medical schools that are teaching people that people of color, like non-white people, and in particularly black people, don't experience pain in the same way that a white person would. So like they're more tolerant to pain or whatever. So like so they're
teaching. You can take the whips.
Shut up. Like so they're teaching people.
You think a white
that,
motherfucker can take a whip to the back? Hell no. Be out in the sun all day.
Like, so they're teaching people to actually like prioritize other patients first, or give more negligent care to non-white patients because, oh, it's fine, they have a higher pain tolerance or whatever, they'll be okay. Like that's ridiculous.
It is.
But when you have a lot of people that grew up in ignorant fashion and they get older and they become the head of an establishment and they can teach people, they can hand down the ignorance, then that becomes a problem. So proper education is a big key to being able to solve a lot of this.
And being able to recognize propaganda. You and I and anybody that's 30 or older probably was taught that the goddamn food pyramid was healthy.
Oh yeah, and it's absolutely not.
That shit was completely
it's
fabricated.
Completely horrible. Yeah.
Completely fabricated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Taught you this in school.
Yeah, it's completely fabricated because they wanted to increase the grain market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely awful.
I mean, you're out here killing niggas because niggas think they're supposed to eat 4 bowls of cereal. You ain't even supposed to eat nothing but maybe 1 bowl of cereal a week or some shit. And niggas eating 4 bowls of cereal a day. You know what I'm saying? Hardly eating fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is tripping out in the streets because you've been taught that it's a fact that the pyramid don't lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So pyramid's always trying to bring a nigga down. You know what I'm saying? All the way back to goddamn 3000 BC. Niggas is dying from pyramids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't live. Can't live. Nigga.
Let them live.
Let a nigga live. You know what I'm saying? Hard R. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of mindsets, man, I had this crazy chick I tried to talk to her on goddamn, and it just kind of falls in line with what we're talking about now, where we were talking to her. I was talking to her on Twitter. There was a post. The post pretty much was saying, let me see, what was the post? Maybe I can find it. I can put it up in the chat. Hold on, y'all. But basically, the post was saying, why is it that black girls, if they're shy, they're perceived to be stuck up or have an attitude.
problem.
And so I was like, you know, I like to engage in conversation. So when somebody has a topic out, I'm trying to goddamn see what the topic is hitting on. So I call myself going into this portion of goddamn Twitter. Maybe I should have goddamn left that shit alone. Okay, I'm gonna share the topic here, and you can go check it out on your Twitter sphere, or you know whatever you can look at it on. But basically, you know, I thought it was an interesting conversation piece. You can check it out right there. It hits in? Okay. You can check it out right there. I thought it was an interesting conversation piece because, you know, what she said was not wrong. You know.
Yeah.
I think
she's definitely not wrong about that.
I was actually in agreement with it. You know, I felt like, yeah, that's kind of true. Oh, thanks for the host, Joe. Appreciate it, my G. Definitely think that she was not wrong in what she said, but I didn't think that she knew what the reason was behind what she said. You know, why does it occur? So then I slide down a few, you know, other people checking it out, you know, making their comments. Apparently nothing but women were commenting on this. So, you know, I decided to be the dude that ventured out into this world.
Okay.
And, well, I got met with one of the apostles, you know what I'm saying? One of the acolytes of her goddamn dominion. And old girl was like, yeah, man, you know, it's like I'm at work every day, and I got my headphones in, and they're like, is something wrong? And I'd be like, is something wrong with your mama? So, you know, I read that, you know, and to me, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe this person doesn't know how that comes across. So I typed up, you know, I'm like, you know, excuse me, miss, you know, just trying to have a conversation piece, you know what I'm saying? If your response to someone who is asking if you're okay is your mama okay? Not exactly sure there's a tone of voice in which you could tell them that they would not believe you had an attitude, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's that you have an attitude. You may not have an attitude, but I don't know why you would respond that way to somebody who is concerned about how you are. So she ain't like that shit at all. Yeah. She was not a fan. I think she went in, she was like, really? So that's what you think this is really about? Let me see if I can read this shit that she was saying. It was quite awkward.
Actually, it was really funny.
The answer she gave to me, you know what I'm saying?
It was really funny.
Oh, she was like, if you really think that the dynamic in that situation allows for that response. Oh no, and I was like, you need to flip roles, and if you were in the role, you know, how would you take it if you asked somebody and they gave you that response? So she was like, if you really think the dynamic in that situation allows for that response, I don't know what to tell you. And I don't have the role reversal. There are plenty of responses to show it isn't just individual experiences. But yeah, let's focus on how politely we respond to microaggressions rather than the actual issue at hand. So,
I mean,
you know, I was like, okay, well, shit, you know, I ain't saying that you're wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's talk about it, you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. What's really happening, what's causing this is the value of women's emotion. The stock price is too fucking high in the world. You know, everybody is concerned about that shit. When you see a chick that looks like she's down and out, you're probably, if you're somebody that you see on a regular basis, you're probably gonna say something like, you know, hey, you all right?
Yeah, especially since like we're taught that, you know, generally as a society that, you know, women's sensibilities are really fragile and they can get upset really easily and all this stuff, and so, you know, want to make sure they're okay because we're taught that, you know, that's what we're supposed to do, particularly as men.
Exactly. And you know, she, however, was not trying to hear that shit. She then responded. Let me see if I can get to what her response was. So I was like, you know, she was like, there you go, trying to change the discussion. You know, take that shit somewhere else. You know, if you want to go goddamn changing the discussion, don't try to turn the discussion around here. I don't want to hear that shit. And I was like, well, you know, god dang, you know.
I guess you used the whole spot.
You know, and I was like, well, listen, I want to hear your perspective. You know, that's just my perspective. That's what I know to be the case. You know, those are facts relative to what I'm experiencing in life. You know what I'm saying? So, give me your perspective. Do you know this woman said, nah, I'm good. I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah. And that whole discussion that you just had with that woman or whatever on Twitter, that discussion is but a microcosm of what like the actual issue is. And it's you know, I understand the frustration on her end because she's not wrong. It's like I said, she's not wrong about it. But you have to be able to calm your temper enough to recognize when someone is actually, you know, doing a microaggression, transgression against you, and when someone is just wanting to have a discussion about why you feel that way. And she just let her anger blind her, and the second that you said anything about it, she immediately flew into, this is my response because I know that he is performing a microaggression against me, you know. And it's partly because women have been taught for so long.
I know about the Bart bad intent. I was riding that motherfucker.
What?
Bart was saying that happens on their transit station, the transit line all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you know, they're taught, particularly black women, you know, that if they don't smile enough, or like, you know, they don't present themselves in like a, I guess, congenial mood towards men enough, that they're considered, you know, an angry, stuck up bitch or whatever, you know, you want to say. And that's just wrong. I mean, that's not a good way to raise in society. I mean, women are people that should be able to think and act, you know, however they see accordingly. They shouldn't always have to like smile or act pleasant just because a man walked by or whatever. So I understand where she's coming from. And so that has probably, you know, made her angry and put her in that mood or whatever. But you know, at the same time, like I said, you have to have enough discipline and reason to look at someone and be like, okay, he's not necessarily, you know, saying that that's right. He's just asking me why I feel the way that I feel. And so, you know, but I also understand her anger in that, because it's just like, if I ever have to explain anything to a white person about why racism exists in the country, and like, to me, it's so blatantly obvious that you should be able to see that it feels like these people are mocking me if they ask me anything about it, particularly if they ask like really simple questions. And then you know, I have to calm myself and be like, okay, well, maybe they just don't know. Now there are some people that are literally, you know,
antagonistic.
Yeah. They're antagonistic and they're just playing dumb. But there's some people that legitimately don't know.
And I think with her scenario that she brought up, you know, it was like what I told her. It was kind of like, you know, the problem is that our society is set up a way that you're going to have to deal with this problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The same way, like you brought up with with a white person coming up and asking you, because the way our society is set up, you know, if a white person sees you and they have that question, you know, they're going to come to you. Now, your situation is not as biologically rooted,
yes,
as this situation. Because in this situation, it's kind of like, if it was me and I had my headphones on and something actually was wrong with me, people would probably just walk by me and not care. They'd just be like, look, there go a nigga with headphones on, probably up to no good, and keep walking. You know, probably would not care if something was wrong with me, because our value as men is, you know, I hate to say it, we're almost like expendable creatures. You know, we're here for what we can do and what we can offer.
I wouldn't go as far as to say all that, but I would say that a man's emotional state, a man's emotional state, you know, is not something to be concerned about, because we're raised in like a super hyper masculine society where like we need to be unfeeling except for when we feel rage over whatever. And so that's 100% right. Like I agree with that part.
And you know, with that being the case, you know it is the double-edged sword that is being a woman and having people care about how you feel. Yeah. Because we are trained so much, and not just men, our society, you know, women are trained to care about other women's feelings. Men are trained to care about other women's feelings. You know, we are, as a society, women's feels are more important than sometimes what is actually going on in the situation.
Or someone's well-being.
Yeah, or somebody's well-being. Yeah. You know, hell, it even leads to some of our laws being questionable. Like, you could wake up in the morning after having sex with me, regret it, and go tell the folks you got raped.
Yeah, that's really
and bad. Guess what? I will have the scar of being accused of being raped.
Yeah, see, that's a huge problem, because like, even if you were found, you know, that you didn't do it, you found innocent, there's always going to be a stigma attached to you. Because like, oh, he was with a woman that she accused him of rape. Like, oh, we should watch out for him. Whatever. Even though you didn't do anything, but that's the importance that we put on women's feelings. And so what I suggested to her was, you know, the societal way to get away from that problem is you have to bring down the value of what your feelings are. Yeah. And I feel that'll happen in time. Like, I feel the reason why it is like it is now is because for so long prior to now, women were treated as if they did not matter at all. Like, you know, if you go back to like 50s and 40s and back, like, women were basically just treated, you know, not as bad as slaves, because, you know, they weren't beat having to work in fields all day, but they were still treated like property, and like, you know, what they felt or whatever didn't really matter.
Yeah, so, and I think that's also due to, you know, the lens is presented to us. Because I mean, I will say that as much as bad as it probably was for them back in the day, you know, my grandma seems to have really enjoyed her life. You know, she doesn't have any complaints about being with my granddad. It wasn't like he was a rich nigga. She had 10 kids. She did the mom thing back in the day. And she got a job later on, you know, in life. Yeah. I think it's all about how it's presented. I think that, you know, just as, now this is just my personal thoughts. My personal feeling on it is, I feel like women have always had life, they've always been exalted. I think the difference is when it comes to what we perceive as good treatment versus bad treatment. I think we're looking at it in a lens and context of today. A context of today, if a woman couldn't go get a job and had to stay home and take care of the kids and couldn't go get an education, that would be fucked up. But in the past, it was not as fucked up, because the requirements that they needed to meet, or the requirements that were put on the man, or the things that were going on in that society at that time, you know, it didn't require her to have to do that. She could actually enjoy being at the house and doing it.
Wait. Wait. That's not right. Because that in itself is horrible treatment because you're taking away the freedom of choice from someone. Like because you're setting a societal standard. But because you're setting a societal standard to where it's frowned upon. It was frowned upon in society for women. Not as much in the black community. It was in like the white community, but it was frowned upon for women to want to go out and have their own careers, or or for them to go to college and stuff like that. And but like they should be free to do so if they wanted to. So like that's bad treatment in itself, Mike.
But frowned upon and not free to do so is two different things. That's what I'm saying. It was frowned upon because of the society at the time, though. Like it is frowned upon in our society.
From doing, listen.
It's frowned upon in our society for dudes to be gay. No, but in 100 years from now,
same thing.
But I'm just saying, 100 years from now, that could not be the case.
But that's not the same thing. Listen, like when certain things are frowned upon in society. For example, frowned upon for someone being gay, right? But nobody knows really if you're gay by just looking at someone. That's the difference between like when you face like racial discrimination or gender discrimination versus like what's the word I'm looking for? Sexual preference. Sexual preference. So if things are frowned upon in society, that affects what people are able to do, like what they can and can't do. And so, for example, since it was frowned upon for women to want to do these things, if women wanted to try to go to college, or try to get a job somewhere or whatever, they would not be allowed in. Like they wouldn't be allowed into school or wouldn't be allowed to get a job. And it was the same thing, when civil rights movement happened, every now and then, black people sort of have equal rights to, as citizens. Okay, but that doesn't mean that like we still won't be, completely discriminated against when trying to get jobs, trying to do certain things, which is why further laws had to be implemented in order to try to balance that. So yeah, having things frowned upon in society when it's a discrimination against something that you can't hide, such as being a woman, being black or whatever, just to use those as examples, that greatly impacts you when the group that so-called has these things that they frown upon you on, when they have control of all the socioeconomic facilities within the nation, that impacts you greatly.
Okay, now if you're talking about only American history, right? I'm saying throughout time. I think women have not had it as bad as it is made out to be, unless you try to compare it to today's standards.
Well, I mean,
because I am
using the U.S. like as the main example because
U.S. is fucked up though.
Because that's where we live.
Okay, but I'm saying throughout time, I don't think women have had it as bad as people make it out to be. Because
people aren't making it out.
Women make it out to be like they've been shitted on throughout time, and I'm like, I don't know that y'all have been shitted on throughout time.
But they're using certain things as a reference point. Like for example, during medieval Europe and stuff like that, like women were treated pretty bad.
Okay, I could pick points in time, but if I look at the overall time, okay, I'll give you a good example. Overall time, let's say if we go to caveman days, right? Okay, you could have been in the house, take care of the kids.
I mean, we don't know because there's no document.
We don't have it, but we have an idea of how things work.
Not necessarily.
We have an idea of how things have worked since then, right? There's a point in time where dudes were hunting and chicks were not hunting. So if it has not always been like that, the most documented time we have is dudes for the most part,
but
been
we
put in
don't know
there.
the intricacies of. We don't know the intricacies of gender relationships at that time. We only know the gender roles. Like we don't know.
Okay, well, the gender roles. Let's say that we say the gender roles to the most dated thing that we have referenced, right? Men have mostly put their lives on the line for women all the time. Whether it's going out to go hunt some shit, whether it's to go war for shit, whatever it is, dudes have always building shit. All dudes have always been putting their life on the line for women. Like I've said many a times, everything we do as men, whether you want to expect it, whether you want to believe it or not, everything we do is for the chick. It's so we can biologically procreate with a chick, whether it needs to be impressing her, whether it needs to be protecting her, whatever our duty is. I don't think that just because as things get passed along, as things pass along, there are treatment of women that has not been equal, and there's been treatment of women that has actually been bad. The stuff you brought up, where giving them discrimination simply because they're a woman, never good. Okay, never good if we're going to talk about.
But that has happened in multiple societies around the world at many points of time in history, like all over the world.
And so are there not equal amount of times that dudes have had it worse than chicks?
No.
You're thinking from what perspective? Because I'm not talking about in power ranks. Because when it comes to ranks of power, that's just how your system's set up. If chicks decided to just move somewhere and have their own land, they would be the women's world. And if a dude walked in that motherfucker, they would not have the rights of women. Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie has crumbled. But when I'm talking about the actual treatment of a man and his,
but that's also what I'm talking about. Like when you're denying people their choice within society to be able to do something, that's horrible treatment. Do you not think that's horrible treatment?
I believe that is horrible treatment, but I do not think that in every situation throughout history that has been the case. Like, okay, I'll give you a good example. The Spartans, right? Is it Spartans? What the movie 300 is the Spartans, right?
Spartans.
Okay, the women were treated like royalty over there, and the dudes was treated like what? The niggas is actually, you are only going to fight. That's really all you
know
going
how
to.
Small the Spartan society.
But I'm just giving you an example, Marty.
Yeah, that's a small example. Let's use a larger example that was right next to them. Like, let's use like Greece and let's use like Rome. And stuff.
Greece was full of gay niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I'm just trying to.
Women were treated horribly in both of those societies. Both of them, like in what? Japanese culture, Chinese culture, like.
But by what metric are you using to consider treatment bad? Because
like meaning
understand that
they were
not being able to.
Meaning they were supposed to be subservient. If they weren't, a lot of times they were beaten or humiliated.
Okay.
They weren't given freedom of choice in anything they wanted to do with their lives. Like they were forced to stay home and have kids and take care of kids and be at home. And they could not go out and do pretty much anything else that they wanted to do. Like that's documented. Like all that stuff has happened in just about every society that has existed on Earth for long amounts of time.
Okay, and then once again, that goes back to what I said to you about when you're talking about I would not discredit when you're talking about when it comes to a woman's role in a overall society. Because when it comes to an overall society and how they come up with things, it's from the top down. You know what I'm saying? The poorest motherfucker is going to get treated way worse than the richest motherfucker. The person with the least amount of responsibility and clout is going to be the person who gets shitted on the most. In those situations, because of how things work, because the dudes are set up in that system to always be the military force, to always be the provider, because the systems are always set up for dudes to take those responsibilities. Unfortunately, the person who's going to get the shit is the person who is quote unquote least productive or valuable to the system. Now, is that fair? It's not fair.
Okay.
You know, we are in agreement that that's not fair or right. You know, but when I'm speaking of how women are treated, I guess I speak more towards the man to woman interaction between individuals as opposed to in a greater society. Because in the grand spectrum of things, I mean, you know,
I mean, what you're saying is that, like, you know, women or men tend to, you know, try to, like, I guess, schmooze over females, you know, to, you know, try to have sex with them and all that stuff like that. But what I'm telling you is from an individual standpoint, what also happened is that, you know, what also happened is that, you know, these women, if they ever wanted to do anything like on their own in their lives, majority of the time, like in, you know, or if they wanted to go do their own thing, or they talk back to their man or whatever, they got beat up and humiliated. Like, that's from a person to person perspective, person to person interaction. And like that, and you know, society taught that was okay. That's what I'm telling you.
I can give you that.
Yeah, and that was in like all around the world. So like that was a big problem for a long time, you know, just in general. And then even now with all the stuff we do, like we have men still treat women like that.
I mean,
in a lot of situations,
people treat people shitty. Now there are some things that I think we don't get the best portrayal of. Like, I always hear about the vote for women, right? Women not being able to vote. And, you know, I've always just thought, oh man, that's just fucked up. So they just wouldn't let women vote. You know, but then I do some actual research, and there's a reason they didn't let chicks vote. Because I guess at that point in time, the reward or the penalty for being able to vote, or the reward for going to war, is being able to vote. You know, and at that point in time, you couldn't vote without registering for, you know, like the draft, being drafted to go to war. So if the war broke out, your ass had to go to war. Chicks were not in the draft because they couldn't be in the draft. They weren't able to vote at the time. Now I think that it's still fucked up. You don't get a say so on what's happening in your life, but I think the problem that end up happening, and I think that happens down to our day without it being so serious, is that a lot of the times the chicks got not the responsibilities. They didn't get the responsibilities that came with the privileges. You know, a lot of chicks did not want to vote because they didn't want to have to register for the draft. Now things worked out that they were able to vote and not have to sign up for the draft.
But I mean, viewing it from that perspective, I feel is wrong, because
I mean, it is the case. It's not even if it's wrong. That's just the case.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand that, but it's, you know, it's ridiculous to justify it by saying that, like, oh well, like, you know, these men get to vote because, you know, if a war breaks out and we have to draft people, they're going to go risk their lives. Like, how about you just make voting not have to be at risk of life and limb like that?
Well, that's what it is now. But what the policy was, in order for voting to be something you could do in the first place. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I make let's say if I make a rule for fucking playing Tekken at the house, is you got to walk in this motherfucker and do 10 push-ups in order to play Tekken, and then the chick comes in here and she don't want to do 10 push-ups, but she want to play Tekken. Now rules could be formatted to make it where y'all can just come in here and sit down and play Tekken and nobody got to do push-ups. But if that's what the standard is, you can't expect for her to come in here and just play goddamn Tekken and I'm making all the niggas do push-ups. Then it's not fair for the niggas. Then you're gonna have a problem the other way. You're gonna have the same kind of issue, but the other way. Now, like I said,
no, that's not necessarily true, because that particular example with, like, you know, females going into the draft and stuff like that. That's a self-inflicted double standard because men didn't want women in the military. So once again, you're stopping women from being able to maybe do something that they want to do because you don't feel it's appropriate for them to do that. So then you're going to take away another right that they should have as a civic member because you're denying them access to something that you feel should be a requirement to fulfill said civic ability.
But if that is
duty.
Okay, I understand.
So,
you're saying
that's self-inflicted.
You're saying that you're telling me that just because we made the rule the way it is, all right? Because I agree with you. Maybe they don't want to send all their ladies over there to fight in Vietnam, right? They feel like, you know what, fuck it. We'll send these dudes over here and let them lose their fucking life. We're not sending our chicks over here. Or we don't think that they're going to be a good fighter. We don't think that they'll stand up to the elements the way the dudes are because of whatever they got to deal with. Maybe that's what the idea was behind it, right? It still doesn't change the fact that that was the requirement. And once they had the opportunity, like when, I forgot what they called the ladies, but when the ladies were going to fight for the ability to vote, the chicks, there was I wish I had the actual percentage here because I had it at one point in time. Because I just thought it was an interesting fact that I ran into. If things came to the point where it was like, okay, you want to be in this, all you gotta do is sign up for the draft. And then they voted, no, I don't want to sign up for no fucking draft. I just want to vote. Well, okay, you know what the stipulations are. If you don't want to do it, when we're allowing you to do it, it's like, okay, we don't really want you to be in the military, but you know what? If you want to vote, you can be in this goddamn draft like everybody else. You get treated like the boys, and you're gonna have to goddamn do the shit we gotta do. When faced with that option, the option was, you know what? No, we're not gonna do that shit. Now, at that point in time, it's kind of like that goes from, am I treating you bad, to you just want to have it your way. You don't want to have to do what it takes to fulfill the requirements.
So I understand that perspective. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the women that were like, okay, well, yeah, I'll do it then.
Yeah,
and
but
then
it wasn't
they were denied.
No, they weren't denied. It wasn't enough of them for the law to change. So then they had to come up with the new.
What I'm saying is that like women that wanted to like join them because that was a thing for a long time where like they wouldn't let women participate like in the front line of combat or train to participate in the front lines of combat because there were various reasons like such as psychologically damage a man to watch a woman die instead of like watching a man die and like all this stuff. So what I am saying is that the people that wanted to do it or whatever, like they were still denied. So then you had this prerequisite that you had set up, but you're denying people that are trying to meet the prerequisite based on your sensibilities, and so then they can't fulfill a civic duty simply because you feel that they shouldn't be able to, simply because they're female, even though they want to fulfill the prerequisite that you set forth.
And I get what you're saying, like you shouldn't be able to set the boundary there. And I guess you
basically just keep moving the fence. You keep moving the goalpost, and it's like, well, I'm trying to kick the field goal, and you just move like if I kick it, you're just gonna move it to the left. You're like, oh, sorry, you missed, and it's like, yeah, because you changed where I needed to kick the ball after I tried to kick it.
Charlie Brown, the motherfucker.
Exactly, like snatch the football, have them fall down. So like it's a constant moving of the goalposts, like moving what they need to do, trying to distract from the fact that like society was just a bunch of bigots and they didn't think that women should have equal rights to them. Like,
I don't think we disagree at all that
no.
In America especially, in America especially, folks has been fucked up since the beginning, okay?
Oh yeah.
We came over here, I say we, but people came over here taking land, you know what I'm saying?
And killing folks.
Coughing on niggas, get niggas the fuck up out of here.
Yep, killing them.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no question that America's always been fucked up. But like I said, I just feel like I know a lot of the times when I interact with women, and it could just be the women of today make me so salty because they're so entitled for so much shit.
I mean, I think that's most of what this is.
It may be the case. It may make me salty that they be so entitled and don't be wanting to do shit for the stuff that they're entitled. And it's like, you know what? Black people got treated pretty horribly throughout history, right?
Oh yeah.
But I still don't think you should give me a job because I'm black. I would actually hate that you gave me a job simply because I'm black. Because then that means you probably gave somebody else a job for a bad reason. And that motherfucker might kill me because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
But that's... Okay.
If that was the only reason you gave me a job.
Okay. That's something I really want to clear that up. Because there's a lot of people that have a misconception of like, you know, of actually how affirmative action works.
I'm not talking about affirmative action. I'm saying like a chick would expect something simply because she's a chick. I'm saying if somebody, I would not expect nothing simply because I'm black. Like I wouldn't expect you to pump my gas simply because I'm black. You know, if you, I only say at work because that's something that if you are not qualified for, it could fuck me up. You know, like if you put your cousin in there, I don't care if you're a black-owned company and you hire me because I'm black, and you hire your cousin because he's your cousin, but that motherfucker don't know what the fuck you're doing, and then I gotta sit next to this nigga with a big-ass chainsaw. This nigga slice my hand off because nigga don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Not so much if I was a white guy. It don't even matter if I was a white guy. Don't hire me because I'm white. And that's why you hire me. Hire me because I'm qualified for some shit. Or you know, when I deal with these chicks,
that's how it should work in, you know, a perfect society.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And when I deal with some of these chicks, I'll be like, man, no, you don't get to do certain shit because you're a chick. Okay, that's not how life works. Or you're not entitled to certain ways of having life simply because you're a chick.
But see, like that's how we're teaching. Like that's how we're raising society. And I mean, we've been over this before, but you know, women are basically taught that you know it's okay for them to do certain things or to have certain crazy emotional outbursts or whatever because that's in their nature. They're women, and so like people are being raised, you know, to think like that, and so they just act however they want, react however they want, and stuff like that. Even if it's completely irrational, that's what they do. Now, not you don't have all women like that, but you know a lot of women are raised like that, and you can just think back to how you're raised when you're a kid. You know, you're always taught that you know you can't cry, you're a boy, like you know you can't get angry and hit people if you're a boy. But girls are never taught that. Girls are never taught that if you get angry you can't hit somebody. Like that's not taught really.
Of course, we had that discussion about the bus driver.
Yeah. Exactly. So we already had that discussion.
Tell you in here you were simping that night, brother.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a societal thing to where women have just always been treated in a certain way. And like you know, not just women, but just groups of people are just treated in various ways by, you know, the rest of society. And people are just raised with certain, you know, pre-notions about how life should work or how they should treat certain people.
And you know, that shit fucks me up, man, because I'm always looking to change at all times. You know what I'm saying? The person I am now, I was not this person this time last year. You know, I wasn't that person that time the year before. You know, I try to ever evolve. You know, certain things are going to be the same. You know, my personality is always probably going to be the same. I'm a giving person. That's just instilled in me. But things about the way I think change from week to week, month to month, because I'm always trying to grow and learn something new. And I know everybody's not like that. It's just very frustrating when people have lackluster outlooks on life. You know, not to say my outlook on life is the best in the world, but goddamn, at least I'm trying to attain the best outlook I can get.
Yeah.
I feel like some people just like that Twitter situation. You don't even want to have a goddamn conversation about your point. I'm trying to hear your point.
Folks like that. It's people like that, in my opinion, are a detriment to society because, like, how we evolve as people and move on as society and stuff is we sit down and we hash out ideas, like we hash out perspectives. That's like how society formed with like the great philosophers, of past eras, is they sat down and they're like, okay, what does this really mean for us? How can we move forward from here? Like, what does this mean to society? How will this work for us? And that's what all the great thinkers have done. And so, like, people like that are a detriment to society when they're just like, oh no, I don't even want to hear any other perspective on anything you got to say, anything like that. No, I don't care.
I feel you, and that's it. Pretty much encompasses back what we were talking about before. Just being stuck in boxes.
Yeah.
It's a wild world out there, and there's a lot of angles at which you can look at stuff. Sometimes fucked up angles. Sometimes you got a perspective of an angle that nobody else can see. We call those people crazy. But that's because we don't have their perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Crazy the word.
But I just like and this is why I really like this show, Mike and Marty show. Let's Talk, because me and Marty don't always agree on everything. We agree on a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we don't see eye to eye on. But this is what you should do with the people that you're around. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
you need to be able to have a person that you can go to, bounce ideas off of. Speak your mind, let them speak their mind, find out where y'all clash, maybe work around it. If y'all don't work around it, then y'all just know y'all just butt heads on that situation, and you keep it moving past that. You know what I'm saying? And you get down to really understanding more about yourself, more about your surroundings. You learn stuff that maybe you didn't have a good perspective on in the first place, that maybe somebody opened their eyes up to, or maybe you are going to be able to teach somebody something. It's just the benefit of having something like this. Glad y'all come out and kick it with us. Hopefully we can impart some of this stuff on y'all. Every once in a while y'all throw something in the comments, make a fool think about some shit.
Yep.
I really appreciate y'all coming out, man, and I think that was everything we're going to talk about today. If there's any questions out there in the chat, you know what I'm saying, if y'all want to know my goddamn pants size, you want to send me some goddamn fire ass pants, you know what I'm saying, a fire ass shirt, I can wear a medium or a large depending on how tight it is. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy Marty. Job interview coming up tomorrow? Thursday, okay. Marty been killing the job interview actually. So Marty gonna be big time in it.
I don't know about all that, but hopefully I will after this last interview. So, like I said, it's the third one, so I hope everything goes well. Well, I actually thought I bombed the phone interview today, when I talked to people, but I ended up not bombing it. Like, I did it, and I didn't really get much of a reaction from them. Like, when I finished it, it was like, okay, well, guess we'll just let you know something by the end of the day, or whether we're going to move on forward, to the final interview. I was like, all right, thanks, and said our goodbyes and hung up the phone, and I was just like, I just lost this job. I was like, yep, I just lost this. I just sunk my own battleship. Just shot myself in the foot. And so I was feeling bad, like, pretty much all day. And then I was on the way here, got a call. They're like, hey, wanted to find out when you're available to come see us on Thursday. And I was like, that's what's up. I didn't bomb it. I didn't shoot myself in the foot. Not bad, Marty Osborne.
Big bucks, Marty. Big bucks, Marty. He came in there with the goddamn clean shave. You know what I'm saying? He getting the stubble back now. I can see it coming back.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be an intimidating black man. He's gonna get fired his first day. You know what I'm saying? So you better goddamn shave that motherfucking chin.
Whoa, who is this individual? Whoa.
Who is this motherfucker?
I did not hire this individual.
Looking like a dark-skinned Moses.
Too militant. He looks like a Black Panther.
Boy, get him out of here. Looking like Black goddamn Noah or some shit. Nigga, you better get the fuck up out of here with that skin. They gonna goddamn get you up out of there, Marty. But you know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy Marty. What's going on with you, Clint? What's going on with your show?
What's up, guys?
Really appreciate y'all coming out, man. Maybe High Kick might be on still. I think she streaming tonight. She was streaming a little bit of Killing Floor, I think, or Dead by Daylight. Marty's new favorite game.
Yeah, so I got the chance to finally play it for the first time. Played 2 games. It was fun. I didn't know really what I was doing, but so I just ran around like, you know, just trying to start up all the generators. So I was like, well, this is an objective we're supposed to do, right? So I just started doing them, and the first game we got them all up pretty quick, but like I ended up getting killed because, you know, my teammates just left me behind and I died. But the second game was really messed up because we were losing, and Mike was laughing his head off when he saw this happen to me. But
I knew it was gonna happen to you.
They left me on the hook, and like when you're on the hook, there's like a meter that goes down, and so if it gets down to a certain point, then you have to go to like struggle mode. You get hooked again, then you basically die. And so I was in a full bar. I got hooked. This is my first time getting hooked, and my teammates waited until I was like below half point and I was struggling to come and save me, and the killer was standing right there. So like they lift me off the hook and he just hits me again and puts me on the hook and I instantly die. And then he killed all of them too. And I was just like, why did y'all wait so long? Like, why? What were you doing?
Got Marty to fuck up out of
it. Got me up out of there. I was the first one gone. It was awful.
Shit. But yeah, man.
I mean, it's a cool game though.
The Hagel Marty is going to be on that Dead by Daylight. Somebody else for you to play with, Clint. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to be playing that shit too much. Like I said, give a shout out to everybody who came in here, man. Once again, send our condolences out to the family of Dr. Strangelove. Not the one that we all know and love here in the chat, but you know, he is a fellow Tekken player out of Colorado. Got in that car accident, man. You know, it's never good to hear about anybody losing their life, especially if it's somebody that's in our community, man. You know, we only trying to see the community grow.
Exactly.
You know, we ain't got old enough for us to be cool with niggas falling off just yet. You know what I'm saying? When I get about 60, 70 years old, you know, I might be cool with a nigga knocking off. Nigga probably owe me money, you know what I mean? But at this day and age, you know, not while you're young, you know, I didn't know that particular Dr. Strangelove, but I'm pretty sure, you know, probably an A1 dude. It seemed like everybody who did know him thought he was a pretty A1 dude. You know, it's pretty horrible what happened to him and his compadres. You know, once again, I put in the chat so y'all can go check it out on Twitter. Maybe y'all can donate to the fam. I think I got the right one. Yeah, this one right here. You can check out the article and stuff, man. And you know, just make sure you keep everybody in your prayers. You know, if you don't believe in praying, you know, just tell people you love them when you see them. You know what I'm saying? When you get a chance. Hell, you know, when y'all in this chat, y'all know I want y'all to always be kicking it with each other. I don't know if y'all got shit against each other outside of the chat. But when you're in the realm of the real, all we do is spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Give dap out, hand out wops every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all get in here. Make sure y'all, you know, make sure y'all let each other know, you know, y'all enjoy each other's company and shit while you can, and you know, we'll be here. Y'all can do the same for me. Show a nigga some love every once in a while. Y'all show me love. Y'all come in here and kick it with us. You know what I mean? And I'll show that back to you. Until next time, it has been real.
It really has.
Peace.
Catch y'all later. Peace.